adrenaline addiction, metal chorus blare, ain't no friction fiction. Drafting on the homies, camaraderie's the trigger. Slides on the track, bombs ready, yeah we bigger. Rubber trains chasing speed and money, engines roaring loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins, run till we drop or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul, cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine, track burning hot, toasting every line. Pit stop hustle, seconds ticking like grenades, oil stained glory, history never fades. Helmet and visor, it's a warrior's enchantment. Every turn a gamble, every lap a commitment. Crowds roar, amplifies high-octane behavior. Victory tastes sharp, savoring the flavor. Wind in the helmet, destiny's a blur. Burning rubber dreams, all senses can incur. Rubber dreams, chasing speed and might. Engines roar loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins, run till we drop or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul, cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine, track burning hot, toasting every line. Running from the dreams, chasing speed and light, engines roaring loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins, run till we drop or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul, cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine, track burning hot, toasting every line. Turbocharged hawk, piston pumping like a beast. Black top jungle, feast on chaos, crave the grease. 180 miles of asphalt ain't forgiven. In this chaos-driven life, only the fearless living. Checkered flag visions, adrenaline addiction, metal chorus blare, ain't no friction fiction. Drafting on the homies, camaraderie's the trigger. Slides on the track, bombs ready, yeah we bigger. Rubber trains chasing speed and money, engines roaring loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins, run till we drop or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul, cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine, track burning hot, toasting every line. Pit stop hustle, seconds ticking like grenades, oil stained glory, history never fades. Helmet and visor, it's a warrior's enchantment. Every turn a gamble, every lap a commitment. Crowds roar, amplifies high-octane behavior. Victory tastes sharp, savoring the flavor.
Ladies and
helmet,
gentlemen,
destinies a blur.
boys and girls,
welcome
in.
Senses can incur.
Oh, let's get it, baby.
Engines roar loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins, run till we drop or burst into flames.
Woo! Oh, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this afternoon, as this is the Mach 10 Motorsports Money Madness Racing here this afternoon. It is a free-to-enter event here this afternoon. There's about $300 on the line being split up for our top 5 here this afternoon. It's $150 to win here in a free event, as drivers loaded in a quick hurry. They're looking to try to cash in, try to earn that payday, but it's going to come without some adversity, and it's going to be very tough to be there, not only at the start-finish line here to start this race, but to be there at the end, be able to survive the chaos, the madness that unfolds here at Daytona International Speedway, as we'll get to see these drivers compete for not one, but 2 separate heat races here this evening. So a little bit different, more like the Gatorade duels here to set our lineup for that main feature event. So these drivers are going to jump out right now onto the racetrack for some qualifying. They're laying down lap times. They're looking to try to make sure that their cars are perfectly ready to rock and roll, ready to go to battle here this evening for this main feature event and for their heat races, as they will be split up into two different groups where they will run two 20-lap heat races. Two 20-lap heat races. The top 20 drivers from each of those heat races will work themselves into our feature event. The A main will have 50 laps of racing action and 40 drivers that will compete in that A main here this evening at Daytona International Speedway. It's going to be a lot of chaos. There's going to be a lot of carnage. There's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving and battling out there on the racetrack like Daytona is known for, in the Mach 10 Motorsports crew coming together to put this all on. And if anyone is interested in joining in their Discord to learn more of the information about the series, or if you want to learn a little bit more or get some information on potentially some future races here with the Mach 10 Motorsports group, their Discord is linked in the description. You should be able to click on that Discord link and join the Mach 10 Motorsports Discord right now here this afternoon, or whenever you tend to watch this race, to be able to join in on the fun, as it was first come first serve here this afternoon, and there was a lot of drivers that unfortunately did not make it into the show, but there was a lot of drivers that got in here. We have a full field. There's 62 cats loaded in and ready to try to go for the win here this afternoon. As they're out for qualifying right now, everybody's trying to lay down their lap times. Everyone's trying to work themselves into a decent starting position out there on the speedway. You can already see up there on that banner above us here, they are rolling in the lap times here. We see 48, 49 drivers, 50 drivers now, all getting lap times in. We're going to continue to see drivers hop out there, but right now it's Chris Melton with the quick time here in qualifying. Caden Diderich. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm going to probably get a lot of names wrong here this afternoon. I do apologize. If I do get your name wrong, please jump into the chat, let me know, or even comment after the race and let me know the proper way to say it, so that way in the future I can hopefully get that right and make it so that you guys don't have to hear me say it the wrong way. Bad Brad, what's good, Brad? Brad coming in, showing the love here in this one. Bad Brad Racing coming in with the like and the share here on the broadcast, not only on his personal page, but also over there on the Bad Brad Racing page as well. I appreciate that, brother. Showing the love as Roxanne Jones. Roxanne coming in with that thumbs up here on the broadcast. And my boy Braden Carter, what's good, BC? Braden coming in with the like and the share, and also coming in with the CSC Motorsports share as well. I appreciate that, Braden, coming in, showing the love here in this one. What's good, Ross? Ross coming in, drop that like on the stream. What's good, Mr. Harold? Russ, how are you, brother? How you doing? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Friday afternoon as we get ready to play. We get ready to duke it out. And this is going to be crazy. This is going to be a wild race, and there is so many different levels of competitors out there on the racetrack. We see Ken Zeems. He's out there. Zeems, he's currently 20th out there in qualifying. We do see Frankie Klein out there on the racetrack as well. That's Captain Caveman, I do believe is what that says. Frankie Klein in the 49. He's been out there. He's currently 18th fastest on the racetrack. We see Sean English. We see Brock Operman out there as well. Peyton Strickland. We see drivers in the 6,000-7,000 I rating, but right now, quickest on the racetrack. It's definitely not a surprise to see Daniel Folkingham at the top of the speed charts. Now, I do believe he is the only Pro Series holder here in this race this afternoon. As we loaded in, we saw that W. Gray license there beside his name as Folkingham, the only Pro Class driver out there trying to take this money here this evening. But it's Daytona International Speedway. It's anybody's race. It's anybody's game. Any moment in time out there on the racetrack, your afternoon could come to a close in a quick quick hurry. As Jinx says, good luck, boys. Cheering on all the boys here this afternoon as he comes in and shows the love over there on YouTube. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're just tuning in and you haven't already, even if you're re-watching the broadcast and you haven't done it yet, make sure you hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button. Become a brand new member of the Peacemaker family here this afternoon as we get ready to rock and roll. We get ready here for Heat Race number 1. Heat Race number 1 about to come right at you here this evening, where we're going to see 31 drivers hop out onto the racetrack, and they are going to try and move forward. They're going to try to qualify. Basically, they're going to try to advance into that A main feature event so you can win your Heat Race. Not going to mean much, but it's going to lock you into the show, and that's where you want to be. That's going to give you the opportunity to come home with that $150 payday here this afternoon, as it is $150 to win. $150 to win this race here this evening. Now, there's some more money on the line here for all the other drivers, as it's going to get broken down between our top 5. It is $150 to win, $75 for second place, and third to fifth will earn themselves $25. Now, that's not a bad day at the office anywhere you finish inside the top 5, as that is going to give you a little extra coin in your pocket here on a Friday afternoon. Having some fun out there on iRacing. It doesn't get much better than that, especially for a free to enter race. These drivers, they didn't have to pay any money. They didn't have to pay their way into this event. It is free. It is first come, first serve, and we got an absolutely amazing field of drivers ready to go to battle. Is out in front, gonna lead us to the green flag here in race number 1. It is the 39 ride of Daniel Folkingham, who will start in position number 1. DF there in the top spot in that 39 ride. 2 is outside in the eternal number 8 machine. That is Colby Yol. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Ol? Could be getting that completely wrong. And then we see this 75 machine. That is Nick Sipple there in position number 4. To his inside, he will have the beautiful number 11 machine, the Premier Racing Setups ride of Kenny Real. Real will start there in that 3rd position. Starting in position number 6, you see that number 35 ride. That is Brock Operman. Then we see Zachariah Cartilage there in position number 8 on the racetrack. We do see Adam E. Williams, Jeff Scott out there, as well as Colton Jordan, Blaine Wilson in the 18, Ken Zeems, Frankie Klein, George Buck, Trevor Catalano, hopefully I'm going to say that right, Trevor, for you, as Trevor Catalano and Tyler Catalano out there on the speedway. I'm sure there's some sort of relationship there, that it be brothers or cousins or father and son out there on the speedway, but the 53 and the 45, I'm sure they're going to be working together here all evening long. The 08, that is TJ Hanley. We'll start there in that 15th position as we see Nicholas Rendo, Doug Easel back there in position number 18, Sam Ballard, Benjamin Elliott, Noah Miller, Axel Smith, Joshua Buxton, Michael Ohis. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Michael. I'm probably getting it completely wrong. Michael there in that 85 interstate ride, as we do see Michael Weffy back there, Lucas Wilson, Andrew Howard, Braden Carter, Colin Butts, RJ Murphy bringing up the rear of the field here in this one. Vlad Tokarev unfortunately starting down on pit side, as 30 drivers will battle here in our first heat race of the afternoon, as we will and all the anticipation here with our first heat race of the day. As Jinx says, we're cooked. Racing against pro driver. I'm 1600 iRating. Listen, even though he's out in front, he qualified on the pole. He was fastest there in qualifying. The pro drivers here at Daytona, it still takes a lot of luck. It takes some good skill to get pushes and to find friends and dancing partners out there on the speedway. And having that pro card, it can either hurt you or help you out there on the racetrack. As the 6K number 39 ride, I don't know why it says 6K, it should say 8K, is the 8K iRating Pro Series car. The 39 of Daniel Fulkingham will lead lap number 1 here in our first heat race of the day. Daniel out in front. He's getting a great jump as Kenny Reel sticking right there onto his back bumper. As the Pro Series drivers, you know, everyone that's out there on the racetrack right now, they want to make sure that they can beat that 39 ride. They don't want to help him pick up a win. They don't want him in that A main feature event. They want to be able to get the one up, the leg up on him in the bragging rights to know that they were able to beat that 39 ride out there on the speedway. As Jinx says, thankfully I'm in heat too. Jinx, that's definitely always a good case. That's definitely always a good case out there. As Roxanne Jones says, let's go, Braden Carter. Cheering on Carter out there on the speedways. My boy, Craig Michael Deacon. What's good, Craig? Craig coming in with the like on the stream. What's good, brother? How are you this afternoon? As Jinx coming in and hitting that subscribe button over there on YouTube as well. Jinx, I appreciate that, brother, coming in, smashing that subscribe button, becoming one of the newest members of the Peacemaker family here this afternoon. As we'll get the overlay here, hopefully back up and running, as I do believe we are under our first caution flag of the day. Some issues a little deeper in the field. We did see Colin Butts down and off the racetrack. Braden Carter also getting collected here in this one. Let's take a look back and see what happens here as Colin Butts in the 66. They're a little deeper in the field here. Things were early broken up, and there's contact around towards the 5 ride of Braden Carter. Carter just trying to keep himself out of trouble right here. I'm not sure what was going on as they were quite a ways deeper in the field. You see Carter getting shoved here from the 66, getting some love taps here. The car definitely a little squirrely out there on the racetrack. The 66 continue to stick on his back bumper. Even seeing him like that, they are going to make more contact down and out of the tri-oval. Unfortunately, both drivers going to come back together. The Mountain Dew and that 5 ride as Braden Carter up into the outside fence. The CSC machine, unfortunately, good contact there into the outside walls. Both drivers will go down into the grass there in corner 1 and 2. They'll be looking to get their cars repaired and back out there on the racetrack, and hopefully right back into contention as the caution flag, even though it hurt both Colin Butts and Braden Carter, it may have helped them here a little bit. Obviously some damage on both rides. They're going to want and try to get that car repaired, as Colin does look like he's stuck in the 66 down and off the racetrack. So a heartbreaker there for Colin Butts, but for Braden Carter, they were only a 3-car pack deeper in the field, potentially kind of out of the picture and falling back. No drafting help out there really on the speedway, and unfortunately they could have been in some trouble if this thing went clean and green for this first heat race, as they were on the outside of the top 20 looking in. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing. See a couple drivers thinking about coming down pit side, but Axel Smith decides, you know what, it's not the time, as we do see Braden Carter. He will take this opportunity to head down pit road, get some repairs done to this 5 ride, try to get it fixed back up and right back out there onto the racetrack. There you go. You see that car getting repaired. He's going to make sure that it's A-OK. Going to throw some fresh tires onto it, making sure they're not flat spotted or corded or going down here, and making sure that this 5 ride, the Midwest, I'm not sure if this is Midwest Motorsports number 5 ride, but the CSC number 5 machine will get rocking and rolling back out there onto the racetrack after early contact and running into problems. As out in front, it's the 39 ride. Daniel Fulkingham out in front leading this race. Kenny Reel right there on his back bumper. Then you see that Trump. Camry there in position number 3. That is the 69 ride of Adam Williams. Williams there in that 3rd spot, as we have all of a sudden A couple of drivers go down onto the apron. Daniel Folkingham, he fell back there a little bit. Now he's going to go back up into his restarting position. There you go. You do see Adam. He's going to roll back into the line there as well in that 69 as Kobe I'm not sure how he pronounces that. Not sure how Kobe will pronounce that. Hopefully, I'm probably getting it completely wrong, but we do see Colton Jordan. Jordan up into position number 5 here, up inside the top 5 early in this race. The 18 right there of Blaine Wilson right there with them as Wilson trying to work his way up towards the front of the field as we do see Jeff Scott there in position number 7. Nick Sipple there in 8th with Ken Zeems and Zachariah Cartilage. They're bringing up the rear of our top 10. Brock Operman, George Buck, TJ Handley, Nicholas Rendo, Frankie Klein, Trevor Catalano, they're in position number 16. Benjamin Elliott, Tyler Catalano, Doug Easel, Sam Ballard bringing up the rear of our top 20 out there on the racetrack as our top 20 drivers will advance into our main feature event. So everybody back behind this Carvana number 84, that Jimmy Johnson paint scheme number 84 machine. Everyone behind Sam out there on the speedways are currently not in position to advance to this main feature event. That includes the 8 rider Noah Miller, Axel Smith, Michael Ohas, they're in the 85 ride. Joshua Buxton, Michael Wethy, Andrew Howard, Lucas Wilson, RJ Murphy, Braden Carter, and Colin Butts all on the outside of a transfer spot looking in. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here at Daytona International Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you guys know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we'll get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. As why is my live timing not working? There we go. We'll give that a quick update, and that should be working again. I'm hoping that's going to work here throughout the afternoon. If it doesn't, we will switch it to the other version, and hopefully that works a little bit better. Let's see if we can do that right now and make this work a little bit better out there. As let me make sure this is working here. Mach 10 Motorsports. Alrighty, here we go. We're going to go back to Green Flag Racing here in this one. As quickly the green flag back out for the number 39 of Daniel Folkingham. As I don't know why it's not showing where the drivers are on position. SDK, there we go, there we go. I think we got her back. It looks like it's working here. So we got her working once again. As here we go, door to door, out in front, getting a great jump there on the outside groove. It's Kenny Reel. Reel looking to try to take over this race lead. Is down the back straightaway, getting a big jump here from Blaine Wilson. Wilson right there on his back bumper as door to door action here at Daytona International Speedway. Drivers trying to stay a little bit more grouped together. They know that it is time to shine. It is time to try to work yourself into the show. If you want an opportunity to race for the checkered flag in the main feature event, win the $150 that's on the line here this afternoon. You want to put yourself up inside the top 20, but you want to make sure that you're a little bit more cautious, give yourself a little bit more breathing room, and try to race yourself towards the top 10 and put yourself into a better starting spot come our main feature event. Is the 39 ride of Daniel Folkingham, the only Pro Series driver in the field here this afternoon, rolls there in the top spot, but he's door to door once again with Kenny Reel. As Reel getting another great jump here from the 18 of Blaine Wilson. Wilson will push the 11 right out in front as Kenny Reel will jump down low and in front of Daniel Folkingham. So Folkingham will slide back into position number 3 out there on the racetrack as changes for the first time here this afternoon. And in heat race number 1, we see a new race leader. Kenny Reel out in front, leading the way here this afternoon. Absolutely amazing run there for the beautiful number 11 machine, as he now has that number 39 all over his back bumper, helping try to push him out in front a little bit farther. This is where he may try to make a move if he sees a big run coming, but right now he's just gotta pull it away from the rest of the field, but that could be a bad thing. You get a little too far out front, you start to lose that draft, and all of a sudden you get a little broken up there with those front 3 drivers. All of a sudden you can see yourself getting passed here by a lot of cats in a quick hurry, especially if they decide they're trying to leave you high and dry and try to split you out there on the racetrack, or try to leave you out there all by yourself. As right now it's Kenny Reel, Daniel Volkingham, Blaine Wilson, 1, 2, and 3 out there on the speedway. Things are looking like they're going a little bit more single file. If these drivers that are back behind those front 3 cats want to stick with them and stay here in this group and stay tight together with our race leaders, that single file racing is exactly how you're going to want to do it. As you see the 69 and that 8 ride, they get together and they will work themselves right to the back bumper. Here comes the rest of that inside groove starting to roll in to the back bumper here of our race leaders, as a little door-to-door, 2 wide, 3 wide back there behind them. And unfortunately, those drivers that are back a little deeper in the field, they're in a tough spot right now. They could potentially be working themselves outside of a transfer spot here in this first heat race, and they could potentially be working themselves into a tough spot as they continue to battle door to door. Unfortunately, you start to see that lead pack pulling away, opening up a gap here between them, and as they don't work together, that lead pack's just going to continue to open up that gap, and they may never be able to catch that lead pack here again this afternoon. As the 38 ride here, I do believe it is the 38 machine of Jeff Scott who is currently leading that pack here as he continues to work here right there to the back bumper. I do believe Frankie Klein's there, the number 16 ride here, and that is Zachariah Cartilage. He's going to bring up the tail end of this lead pack. So there's 10 drivers up here in this lead pack. The rest of the field quite a ways back here behind them now. 1.6 seconds, the gap between that top 10 lead pack all the way back here to Frankie Klein in the HendrickCars.com number 17 ride. Is now he leads that inside lane. He's looking to try to get some help here as Tyler Cantilano try to help him up there towards that lead pack. Unfortunately, they got a big gap trying to get up there and need a little bit more help in door to door. Still back there right behind them. They are not carrying as much speed as that single file up towards the front of the field, and they are falling even farther away from that lead pack. It's now over 2 seconds, the gap between 11th and up to 10th as they continue to roll single file out there on the speedway. These top 10, they know all they need to do is stay in the draft, stay locked together, nose to tail, and they will race their way into our A main feature event. They start dancing around, they start going 2 wide or 3 wide, racing for the win here in the heat race. That could bring that backpack up to their rear bumper in a quick hurry where they could get shuffled out of a transfer spot there on the racetrack. As we still got a lot of time left to go here in this heat race, is down through the tri-oval here at Daytona International Speedway. We will see only 7 more laps left to go. 7 more laps left here in this one. Let's see if we can get the other top banner working here once again. It normally doesn't like to work with heat races, and I'm not 100% sure why it doesn't like to work with heat races here on SDK. In a main feature, it usually seems to have no problem, but during a heat race, it just seems to have too much of a hard time trying to keep that going there. I don't know why it does that, but it's definitely something we do not like. As we do see the second group, they're still battling a little too wide back there behind them as Frankie Klein leading the way there in that second group. Tyler Cantilano back there in position number 12. Sam Ballard now up into position number 3 here in that pack. He's in the 13th spot with Ken Seams in position number 14. Michael Ohis, there in position number 15. TJ Handley back there battling with that 85 ride. Brock Operman in this mix as well. George Buck, he's back in position number 17 with Noah Miller right there as well. The Rebel Bourbon number 8 ride. He's trying to keep himself inside the top 20 out there on the racetrack as the 85 sliding backwards there a little bit, trying to work himself back through that outside groove, trying to keep himself inside the top 20 as Michael Wethy right there on his back bumper in the Monster Juice number 31 ride. Axel Smith in the 97, he's there battling with them as he is currently just on the outside of the top 20 looking in. Doug Ezel in the 56 of Benjamin Elliott also on the outside looking in, and then all the way back a little farther in position number 24, about 10 seconds back, you see this 33 of Joshua Buxton, the number 15 of Lucas Wilson. Jeff Scott in the 38 ride, he's back in the 26th position with RJ Murphy in the 60 ride, and the 21 of Andrew Howard back in the 28th spot. We did see Braden Carter right there as well, unfortunately came back down pit side and had an unscheduled pit stop during the green flag conditions. He is now a lap down, unfortunately, back in 29th, and his opportunities to maybe race his way into this A main feature event are running out in a quick hurry. As Kenny Real out in front leading the way here. As our top 10 still right there tied together. You do see Colton Jordan. He's moving around here a little bit. He's trying to find his way up and into this battle, seeing if he can try to join this fun, as we did see actually only 8 drivers left here. Some of these cats starting to fall back. You even see this number 05 right. He is starting to slide back a little bit, hoping to try to catch that draft. Look out, hang on to it, up into the outside fence goes Colton Jordan. Jordan able to get that car pointed back in the right direction. He jumps in front of that 05 right, hoping to get a little push and a little shove, hoping to find that groove and find some speed here as he's looking to try to stay up inside the top 10. Unfortunately for both those drivers, that loss of momentum may have slowed them down too much, where they may no longer have that draft. Same with the 75 ride of Nick Seipel, as unfortunately for these guys, they're going to get hunted down by that other pack in a quick hurry, as we already saw the 45 ride. He's up into 9th now. We saw a couple of those drivers that were up inside the top 10, that were battling inside the top 10, have now fallen back in deeper into this field. Axel Smith right there, he's trying to race his way up inside the top 20, currently sits in that 21st position. This is going to be that main battle, the main pack that everyone's going to want to be watching, as we see a couple cars go around right here. Caution flag out of the racetrack. Axel Smith collected. We see that number, I do believe that is Doug Ezel in the 67 with quite a bit of damage here on the red monkey number 67 machine, getting quite a bit of damage there. We did see Brock Operman here in the 35. He kind of got tied up in this one as well, as we see a couple cats down out of core number 4. Going to make some contact here. It's actually right in front of them. Watch this 84 ride. That is Sam Ballard in the number 84. Some contact here between him and the 08. One coming up, one kind of coming down. Unfortunately, trying to draft and side draft off each other just did not quite work out. And Zemus right there, he's going to get a little contact there from that Carvana 84. He's going to get shoved down onto pit lane as everyone else trying to spread out, trying to figure out where they need to go. The 84 comes back up the racetrack, clips that 35 ride, and then to the outside fence, you see the 91 tied together there, Axel Smith, and unfortunately for the 67 of Doug Ezel, he is also collected there in that one. Some pretty good damage for both of those cats in a late race caution flag. Definitely not what that lead pack wanted to see. They did not want to see that caution flag. They wanted to see this continue to stay clean and green as they tried to race their way into our A main feature event. There's only 3 more laps left to go, and we're going to get an attempt here at NASCAR overtime here in heat race number 1, and that's just going to build the intensity. Everything's going to be that much more interesting here down to the finish line, and see if we get another caution flag, maybe another attempt at NASCAR overtime here in this heat race, with our second caution flag coming out at a very untimely time here this afternoon for a lot of these drivers. Definitely not the time that they wanted to see that yellow flag fly. They wanted to see that checkered flag fly in a quick hurry and potentially lock themselves in to the feature event. But now anything can happen here on this restart, and you could go from hero to zero in a quick hurry out there on the racetrack. As out in front, it's Kenny Real. Real leads the way here in this one. He's following right behind that official iRacing pace car down the front straightaway and into corner number 3. Right there behind him in the 6K, Coca-Cola number 39. It is Daniel Folkingham. Folkingham back there in that second spot. One of our Pro Series drivers here this afternoon, rolling there in second. He was also our pole sitter, fastest in qualifying, and looking to try to pick up the first win of the afternoon and try to win heat race number 1. Blaine Wilson there in third with Adam Williams back in fourth. Colby Ohl there in position number 5 with Colton Jordan, Nick Sipple, Nicholas Rando, Trevor Catalano, Zachariah Cartilage, Frankie Klein, Tyler Catalano, Michael Ohus there in position number 13, Ken Seams, Brock Operman, Michael Wethy, E.J. Handley, Benjamin Elliott, Sam Ballard, and George Buck in this Helveline 28 ride. Rounding out our top 20 out there on the racetrack, as it does look like T.J. Handley, he's going to get sent back a little bit farther here in the field as the 0-8 ride going to slide back to the back of the pack. That will move Noah Miller now into that 20th position. As Kenny Real says live from the driver's seat, what's good, Kenny? What's good, Mr. Real? And live from the driver's seat, Kenny Real jumping into the chat. How are you, brother? Coming in, showing the love. How you feeling out there, man? How you feeling? You a little nervous for this restart? I mean, there's a lot on the line. One simple mistake, one bad restart, one bad push could put you out of this race, out of this A-main feature event, and unfortunately no longer in contention for that $150 payday to pick up the dub here this afternoon. And do you think you can get it done? You know, can you beat that 39 ride, man? The Pro Series driver here in the field this afternoon, Daniel Folkingham, getting lined up to your outside, getting ready for this restart late in heat race number 1. This is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting here in this one. As Jesse Aldred says, F you, my bunch racing number 35. What? Funky. Jesse, I don't know what you're trying to say. Jess says Funky Bunch Racing. Okay, Funky Bunch Racing. I read that completely different there, Jess. I'm sorry about that. Didn't know there, but the Funky Bunch Racing number 35. Let's go. Cheering on that 35 ride out there on the speedway. Cheering on Brock Operman. I do believe that is the Funky Bunch Racing ride, that Rogue Machine, rolling back there in position number 15 right now, sitting solidly in a transfer spot, but maybe a little bit too close for comfort there for Operman as he's trying to get that car locked in to our A-main feature event, our 50-lap show here later on this afternoon, as we still have another heat race after this to get settled in to figure out who will put themselves into victory lane there in heat race number 2. But who's going to get done here in this one? Does Kenny Real hang on to it? Can he pick up the dub here in heat race number 1? Do we see Folkingham, Wilson, Williams, or any of these other drivers put themselves into victory lane? As Connor Lenning says, let's go Zachariah Cartilage. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Cartilage, right? Cartilage? Like cartilage, like your arteries, your cartilage in your heart. I'm pretty sure that's how it's spelled. I'm pretty sure that's how I'm reading it. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly and not getting it too wrong there for Zacharias. We get them stacked up, racked up, and back to Green Flag Racing is down through the Geico restart zone here at Daytona International Speedway. The 11 ride getting a great jump right there and quickly getting a shove from that 18 machine. The inside lane seems a little bit more organized in the 39 ride of Daniel Folkingham's looking to try to clear Kenny Real, hoping to try to slow slide down in front of him or try to keep himself hooked up here with that 69 ride as Adam Williams pushing him out in front of the field here on our first attempt at NASCAR overtime. Now we do see the 69 and the 39. They're going to both move down in front of Kenny Reel, and they will leave Colton Jordan on the high side all by himself here. He is on the outside looking in here now, finds a hole down low, quickly jumps in front of the number 16 of Nicholas Rendo. Contact back there behind him, heavy damage back there. I do believe that is Joshua Buxton. A couple other drivers now going down through the infield as we do see that white flag fly. It was a heartbreaker there for Axel Smith as Axel Smith up into the outside fence there out of corner number 4. Heavy damage on the 91 ride. He's going to pull that car down onto the apron and off that racetrack as the checkered flag is about to be displayed. The 39 out in front. It's Daniel Folkingham. Folkingham leads us down the back straightaway, down and into corner number 1 on the racetrack. Folkingham in the 69 of Adam Williams hooked up here this afternoon, the 39 and the 69. But do we see anybody here in this lead group try to make a move? There goes that number 11 of Kenny Reel. Reel trying to look for the heat race win, but no, the 18 will jump back down low as Daniel Folkingham will pick up the checkered flag. Our first heat race win of the afternoon. As Daniel Folkingham, Adam Williams, Blaine Wilson, Kenny Reel, Colby Ohl, Nick Sipple, Colton Jordan, Nicholas Rando, Zachariah Cartilage, and so many other drivers here working themselves into that A main feature event. Unfortunately, a lot of other drivers getting eliminated here. Let's see if we can get a quick look at that heat race results and see where things stack up out there on the racetrack. We're going to have to turn the webcam off here so you guys can see a little bit better. So there you go. There is our top 18 there. As you see our top 18 with Daniel Folkingham picking up that win. Adam Williams there in second. Blaine Wilson, Kenny Reel, Colby Ohl, Nick Sipple, Colton Jordan, Nicholas Rando, Zachariah Cartilage, Trevor Catalano. Rounding out our top 10, they will all advance into the show. Same with Frankie Klein, Ken Zeems, Michael Ohus there in the 13th spot. Brock Operman also working his way into the show here this afternoon, back in 14th with Benjamin Elliott. Tyler Catalano back there in 16th. Noah Miller, George Buck. Rounding out our top 18, they will all work themselves into our A main feature event. Let's take a look here at the rest of this field here. As let's play this back just a little bit. Let's go back to this area. This should show us the second half. So, okay, back in the 19th spot, it's Jeff Scott. Jeff Scott able to pick up the 19th position, and it is the Carvana, number 84 of Sam Ballard. Ballard in that 20th spot, the final transfer spot there in heat race number 1. Unfortunately for Lucas Wilson, Doug Esel, Michael Wethy, Braden Carter, Andrew Howard, Joshua Buxton, TJ Handley, Axel Smith, RJ Murphy, Colin Butts, they will all unfortunately not race their way into the show here this afternoon, as only our top 20 advance into this A main feature event. Unfortunately, the bottom 11 drivers will load up their rides, and they will join the fans in the stands here this evening. So we'll get them right out there onto the racetrack here. Heat race number 2, ready to rock and roll as they jump out onto the racetrack. Starting on the pole in the number 52 ride, that is Chris Melton. Melton will start out in front here this afternoon. Caden Deiderich there in position number 2 with Victor Pfluger, Sean English, Aubrey Thompson, Peyton Strickland, James Wagner, Tommy Thompson, Blue Jade, Jeff Hogard there in the 10th position. We see Noah Johnson, Travis Roberto, Boris Sheeker Jeeve, hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm probably getting it completely wrong. Boris in the 88, starting back there in the 13th spot. Then we see Russell Peets, Brennan McKee, Cameron Craighead, Ryan Sizemore, Sean Futrell, Johnny Evans, we see Casey Wynn, Jason Dudley, William Soniawiski. Hopefully I'm saying that right, probably getting it wrong. William back there in the 32 right, starting in 22nd. Then we see Dakota Williams, Kingsley Nowako, they're in position number 24. Curtis Rogers, Alex Hamrick, Tony Hagelwalks. Probably getting that completely wrong. Tony back in that 57 right. We do see Gary Steele, James Lindsay bringing up the rear of the field as Curtis Kelly did not jump out there onto the racetrack here to start this second heat race. Is out in front, leading that lap down across the line. It's the 24 right of Caden Dinerich. Out in front, battling door to door with Sean English. As English in the 960 right getting shoved out in front to the front of the field here, a big shove into that 45 right of Peyton Strickland. They are going to continue to try to work themselves farther away as contact back there behind them. Look out, heavy damage around goes the 52. Oh, baby, there's the caution flag as unfortunately a bunch of drivers tied up, turned around down the back straightaway in a bunch of carnage here as our pole sitter in the 52 collected here in this one. Not the way Chris Melton wanted things to go. Russell Peets, Travis Roberto, and a bunch of other drivers tore up down the back straightaway as we'll take a look back and see what happens as pushing and shoving everyone trying to race their way to the front of the field here. Fortunately, things just getting a little bent out of shape. Down and out of corner number 2, you see Melton go to the middle groove right there. He kind of jumps up to the middle, trying to leave that 24 high and dry. Now, I'm not sure if he gets a big bump to the rear end here from that 43 right as Fluger coming to his back end. Oh no, the 7 right at Thompson comes down into the 52, obviously not realizing they were actually 3 wide right there. The 52, the 24, they get together as the 7 right bumps into that 52. Now they're all just bouncing around. The 24 hard up into the outside fence. The 52 right, after getting a little contact there from the 91, bounces down off the 12. The 91 going to get back into him here again. Heavy contact. They're going to slide down and into the outside fence. That's where you see Travis Roberto. Unfortunately, nowhere for him to go. He slams in there and heavy damage there for that 028 for the 52 and the 91 ride. As they wash down onto the apron here, you see everyone sliding down through the grass. And the 36, oh! The 36 ride coming in there a little bit later and unfortunately going to slam into him here. Let's see if we can get a look back at the 36 ride of Nicholas Mockin back here as he is going to drive into this one and unfortunately gonna get a big piece. Sees the smoke, sees everyone dipping, diving, dodging, trying to get through there. Unfortunately, comes in with a little bit too much speed right there. Not enough time to react, not enough time to get out of the way, and slams hard into him. And some heavy damage there for that 36 ride as a lot of drivers head down pit side, getting their cars repaired. You see this 52 ride still crawling down there into pit lane. Still some heavy smoke rolling out of the back end of that 52 ride. We do see Travis Roberto down pit side. Caden Diderich, he's down pit road trying to get this 24 ride fixed back up. Chris Melton, Nicholas Mockin also down pit road. All these drivers trying to get their cars back into one piece and back out there onto the racetrack as they want to see if they can race their way back to the front of the field. As out in front, leading the way, it is the 960 ride. Sean English leading the way here in this one. As Blown Engine says, Kingsley is my GOAT. As Connor Lenning says, go get paid, Z. Cheering on Z out there on the speedway. And man, you might have jinxed Z right there quickly out there on the racetrack, as there was a lot of tore up race cars, a lot of drivers unfortunately getting tore up in a quick hurry out there on the speedway. As Susan Cartilage cheering on, says hi Connor, cheering on Connor as well here in this one, says no cart ledge. I'm saying cart a ledge. Like, there's no I in there. Cartledge. Okay, thank you, Susan, for making me see that there. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You said it right the first time. Cart ledge out there is, yeah. Cart then ledge. As hi Connor, thanks for looking out. Yes, mama, always. I finally got a wheel so I can play with Son iRacing. Nice. Let's go, Connor. That's what's up right there. More drivers here in iRacing, always better for the community. As Susan says, oh nice, Connor. You'll be battling with Big Brother now. Woo, baby. As Zachariah Cartledge says, starting 17th in the main race. It'll be after this race. There's some payouts too, so let's get paid, says Zachariah here this afternoon, as he's looking to get some cash, looking to put that into his back pocket and looking for the payday here this evening. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here in heat race number 2. As we're already down to 16 laps left to go here in this race. 16 laps left out there for these drivers to duke it out here this evening. Whew, this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be interesting right here, as we're going to see these drivers continue to battle, continue to, you know, push and shove out there on the speedway. Potentially still more, you know, chaos to ensue here this evening. We still got, 30 drivers out there on the racetrack. Everybody that was tied up in that first caution flag, they were back out there onto the speedway here. They are still on the lead lap, so we got 31 drivers trying to work themselves inside the top 20, as only the top 20 will advance and put themselves into the show here this evening, and each and every one of them are trying to not only race their way into the A main feature event, but they're also looking to try to pick up this checkered flag, get a great starting spot, get a little bit of confidence, and potentially trying to work on finding some friends that will help you during that A main feature event here this evening as well. As we do see the 71 ride, we did see Curtis Kelly unfortunately miss the start of this heat race. He had to start from down on pit road. He had no drafting help out there, so that early caution flag really helped out that 5-hour energy number 71 ride, and here he is right back into the action. He's going to look to try to race his way up to the front of the field. As Sean English down through the Geico restart zone. We'll see that green flag fly here once again on the afternoon. So the green flag back out here for the 960 ride. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button right now, as these drivers putting on one heck of a show for us. And out in front, that beautiful 960 machine leads the way, as on his back bumper, the 7 ride of Tommy Thompson, pushing him out in front. And then door to door, back there behind him is the 43 ride of Victor Pfluger, to the outside of the 45 of Peyton Strickland. The inside lane getting a great run as the 42 of Aubrey Thompson will slide into that 4th position. So a pair of Thompsons up inside the top 5. As a little bit of contact, look out, the 7 ride sideways, the 42 now down onto the apron, the HendrickCars.com, and the 12 making heavy contact. There goes the 7 ride, the 45, the 12, they're still crashing down through quarter number 1 and 2 on the racetrack, and our second caution flag of the day will fly. More carnage here, more drivers turned around out there on the racetrack, and a lot of competitors once again tore up down here into quarter number 1. As we will take a look back and see how this kind of all got started, as our second caution flag of the day will be displayed. So the second yellow flag here this evening. See if we can find where this kind of got started, where this all kind of started to play out. There was a lot of drivers that unfortunately just didn't really have anywhere to go right here. Let's see if we can play this back a little farther, as we saw contact here towards the front of the field. That 7 ride, Tommy Thompson, was right in the thick of it here. Let's take a look back as Thompson, he's trying to work his way through there. Some contact here between the 7 and the 45. The 7 trying to jump up and throw that block, and Tommy Thompson gets into Strickland. They get turned around here after bouncing off each other a couple times down the racetrack. You see Victor Pfluger nowhere to go. He slides in there. The 0-3 of Ryan Sizemore gets some damage there as well as that 30 ride as he gets slammed up into the outside fence. And unfortunately for James Wagner, his problems are going to continue here down into corner number 1 as they continue to wreck. They continue to move around. He gets bounced right there. Him and the 0-5. They come together. They get into the 48. He goes around again down through corner number 2 as this wreck just continued to grow there down the back straightaways. Brendan McKee, all these other drivers just trying to work themselves through it. Unfortunately, heavy contact there as the 12 and the 7 come together. Nowhere to go for the buck off Kubota number 15 machine. Nowhere to go for the 32. Oh man, so many drivers right here. Just no fault of their own, just trying to stay out of it, trying to keep themselves out of the carnage and the mayhem. And unfortunately, that is super speedway racing. A lot of drivers tore up. A lot of drivers going to have to head down pit side and look to get some repairs, look to try to get their cars fixed back up and back out there onto the racetrack. And you see James Wagner rolling back out there. Here comes that 43 of Victor Pfluger. Unfortunately, they're going to be deep in the field now. They're going to be back in the pack here by quite a bit as Peyton Strickland down pit side. The 45 coming down looking for some more work. The 12 of Jeff Hogard down pit side here. We do see William Sonowiski. I'm probably getting that completely wrong. Sonowicks. I'm probably getting that completely wrong. William there in the 32 ride, the Mountain 2 machine. He was down pit side getting some work done. We did see Sean Futrell down pit road as well in that 40 after getting spun around there a couple times. Johnny Evans down pit lane. We did see Peyton Strickland making a couple trips in that 45, and all these drivers just hoping to try to get locked back in and ready to go back to battle here as we still got quite a few laps left here in this one. Still a lot of time for drivers to try to rebound there that were tied up in that accident. They want to try to work themselves back into the show, back inside that top 20 and back into the action here this evening. We'll have to wait and see if they can rebound from that, if they can race their way back up towards that top 20 and back in to a transfer position here this evening as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here in just a few more moments as we'll get ready to rock and roll. We'll get ready to go back to battle. I'm going to get a quick drink in, a quick break in here to get a drink, and we'll go back to green flag racing in just a couple more moments.
Turbocharged hawk, piston pumping like a beast. Black top, jungle feast on chaos, crave the grease. 180 miles of asphalt ain't forgiven. In this chaos-driven life, only the fearless living. Checkered flag visions, adrenaline addiction. Metal chorus blare, ain't no friction fiction. Drafting on the homies, camaraderie's the trigger. Slides on the track, bombs ready, yeah we bigger. Brother dreams, chasing speed and money. Engines roaring loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins. Run till we drop, or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul. Cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine. Track burning hot, toasting every line. Pit stop hustle, seconds ticking like grenades. Oil stained glory, history never fades. Helmet and visor, it's a warrior's enchantment. Every turn a gamble, every lap a commitment. Crowds roar, amplifies high octane behavior. Victory day sharp, savoring the flavor. Wind in the helmet, destiny's a blur. Burning rubber dreams, all senses concur. Rubber dreams, chasing speed and might. Engines roar loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins. Run till we drop, or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul. Cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine. Track burning hot, toasting every line. Running up the dreams, chasing speed and light. Engines roaring loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins. Run till we drop, or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul, cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine, track burning hot, toasting every line.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Back to green flag racing. Is down through the Geico restart zone. The 960 rider, Sean English, with a good launch right there. Hoping to get a little bit of help is the 7 ride, who's been all around the start of these big wrecks in the caution flags. Rolls there in position number 2. It's Tommy Thompson in that second spot, trying to give a big shove there to that 960, and that's going to get Sean English out in front by quite a bit here. Now, that is sometimes the dangerous thing about being at the front of the field. This big gap, you're going to see this field come at him with a big head of momentum. The 7 ride could have jumped up to the outside groove, left him high and dry, but decided to stick to the back bumper here of that 960. Keep Sean English out in front and keep him rolling. Out there on the racetrack is English. Leads us down and out of corner number 4. They're door to door, 2 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide, back there throughout the field. Everybody trying to race their way up into the front of the pack here this afternoon, as they know that only the top 20 drivers will transfer through into our A main feature event, the 50-lap feature event later this afternoon, where we will hand out $300 of prize money throughout our top 5, as our top 5 will get paid here this afternoon in this free to enter race this evening, brought to you by the Mach 10 Motorsports crew. Mach 10 coming in with some big money, helping these drivers out, giving them a little bit of extra money in their back pocket, but also putting on this amazing race in allowing them to have some fun on a Friday afternoon here on iRacing. If you guys haven't already, check the description on the broadcast. You can join the Mach 10 Discord right now. The link is in that Discord, or the link for the Discord is in the description of the broadcast over on Twitch, over on Facebook, and over on YouTube. You can join the Mach 10 Discord. You can figure out for more information about the race. You can figure out when the next event is and how to join the next event and become part of this race, a part of this amazing money events that Mach 10 is putting on, and maybe put yourself right into the thick of things, right into the battle, right into the racing action, and potentially picking up and stealing some of the money from these drivers out there on the speedway. As out in front, it is still Sean English, who continues to lead the way. Is one driver down through the infield right there. That was Sean Sizemore. More contact back there behind him, and drivers getting bounced around here. Things get a little bit too crazy, and unfortunately, we're going to see heavy contact and a few drivers hard up into the outside fence. So we're going to see a little contact here. And Sizemore in the 0-3. Gonna kind of get bounced around a little bit. Down into the tri-ovals, a big shove from the 45 ride to the back bumper here. That's Curtis Kelly getting a shove, getting tight. Oh, the 45 comes down a little too far. Hooks that 0-3. He bounces off the 71, which gets him turned down into the infield. But then you see the 45 ride. He continues to just keep on this pace. Stuck to the back bumper of the 71 ride of Kelly, and unfortunately that's where we're going to see this contact here. So the 0-3 down through the infield, but it's the 45 and the 71 that are going to be the drivers to first kind of get tied together here. Down through the triangles, you see him kind of stuck right in him right there. It really gets this 45 ride more bent out of shape. There's some contact. He's then going to get bumped by Williams in the 59, which gets him even more bent out of shape. Then they get stacked up. They get into each other's right rear, and it sends them up into the outside fence. Heavy, heavy contact there for the 71 of Kelly. Heavy damage there for the 45 ride. And all these other drivers, unfortunately, sliding into this one. Really nowhere for them to go. A lot of these cats getting absolutely tore up out there on the speedway. The 36 ride right in the middle of it. We see Dakota Williams. He's in there in that 59, as he was the one that made that extra contact as well. The 32 nowhere to go, slamming into the side of that 59 ride. The 52, our pole sitter of Curtis Melton, again getting tied up in it. As you see, the 43, he's gonna get slammed into the outside fence here as well. There's even more drivers that all of a sudden just pretty much had their night come to a close here down the front straightaway. Let's play this back and take another look at it. Where's the 43? We're looking for the 38 ride of Victor Pfluger here. Pfluger's trying to get through there. Luckily enough, he's able to get through the first little bit of it here. Watch this 43 ride. Gets a little bit of damage right there, getting into the 59 and the 45, but looks like he's going to be able to keep on going. You see the sparks, but contact down low between Roberto and this 91. Comes back up the racetrack. Pfluger hard up into the outside fence with that 91 ride. Here comes that 36. He's going to go around hard up into the outside fence and right across the nose there of Victor Pfluger, which is going to create more contact and more damage there for the 43 and the 91, and pretty much everyone else back there behind these guys just getting absolutely tore apart. Chris Melton, our pole sitter, man, he has had no luck here this afternoon. Let's jump on board here with Chris Melton as Melton's just trying to work his way through this. Sees a little contact there in front of him, one driver down into the grass, and then all of a sudden they just start to pile up and he gets turned around. Nothing he can do, and quickly gets that car out and off of the racetrack. Because unfortunately, ton of carnage here, a little bit of chaos in race number 2. Heat race number 2 of the afternoon has proved to be very difficult for these drivers. Sean English continuing to lead the way. Tommy Thompson there in second with Blue Jade up into position number 3. Aubrey Thompson there in 4th with Caden Dieterich there in position number 5. Cameron Craighead, Gary Steele, Boris in the 88 ride there in 8th with Noah Johnson and Alex Hamrick rounding out our top 10. Casey Wynn there in 11th with Russell Peets in the 91. He scored back there in that 12th position. Travis Roberto there in 13th. Sean Futrell there rounding out our top 14 on the Speedway. That's when we see the number 30 of James Wagner. William S back there in the 32. He is scored in the 16th position. Jeff Hogard there in position number 17. Kingsley Nowako back there. Hopefully I'm saying that right, Kingsley. Kingsley in this one machine scored back in 18th with Thomas Watkins. Tony H in the 57. He scored back here in the 19th position. There you'll see Chris Melton just rounding out our top 20. But you take a look here at Melton's ride, already getting quite a bit of damage on this thing, man. You see that 52, the green, and man, this green car, it's just tore up. A lot of damage on it. You still see a ton of contact there, a ton of right front damage. I'm not sure how this car is going to keep on racing and how it's going to keep itself, you know, in the draft and out of trouble here for the rest of the afternoon. We'll see if he can hang on to it and see if he can race that 52 ride back up to the front of the field, as right now he is back just inside the top 20 here, just in that transfer position. As out in front, it is Sean English. English in this Toyota Camry continuing to lead the way here in heat race number 2 as we get them stacked up door to door once again here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here this afternoon as the Mach 10 Motorsports Money Madness Racing action here from Daytona International Speedway, about to get back to battle here as the laps are clicking down in a quick hurry here for heat race number 2, and another opportunity for drivers to work themselves into the show. As door to door down through the Geico restart zone, the green flag will come back out here for Sean English. English with another good restart, another good lock right there, but no help to his back bumper, quickly opening up a gap between himself and the rest of the field here. And this is once again probably not the position he wants to be in, as they're going to get the draft rolling. They're going to start building up that speed and momentum a lot quicker than that 960 ride, and quickly looking to his outside is Tommy Thompson. Thompson going to blow the doors off the 960 as the inside lane gets a little stalled out down the back straightaway. Now English will see 3 drivers jump down in front of him as Cameron Craighead and the 42 of Aubrey Thompson, Tommy Thompson, now out in front leading the way. It's Sean English back into that 4th position, though. He's not going to want to stay there for long, even though he's still in a transfer spot. He jumps up to the outside groove, looking to try to find some dancing partners, some help to try to race his way back up and out in front here this afternoon. Not a lot of drivers still helping him out here. Not a lot of cats jumping to his back bumper. And down across the line there, we see 2 more laps left to go here in this one. As Broken says, hey, streamer, you should minimize the leaderboard so we can see all of it. Hey, Broken, it will change once we get into the A main feature event, as we do see the caution flag come back out. I appreciate the criticism right there, but you know what? I'll do what I can do here. And unless if you want to see the leaderboard or you don't want to see the leaderboard out there on the racetrack, you're going to see what you can see out there on the speedway as the caution flag will come back out. As unfortunately, if we go to the ticker up on the top side like we normally do, sometimes it decides it wants to work, but normally when we go back and forth, it doesn't work. But normally this is what you see out there on the racetrack. The heat races, unfortunately, just messes with that top leaderboard, and it doesn't always work, and you won't be able to see where these drivers are out there on the speedway, and that's why we have to use the tower and not the scroll top, the ticker there at the top of the board. Let's take a look back and see what brings out the caution flag here again in our second heat race of the afternoon. Here in this one is Chris Melton gonna run into more problems, but you already see that 0-5 ride turned around and pointed in the wrong direction. As was that a green-white checkered? I don't think it was. I do believe this is our first attempt at the green-white checkered right there, Kenny. I don't believe that was a green-white checkered. That was our regular time out there on the speedway. Trying to find the 0-5 ride. There we go. It is Casey Wynn in the 0-5. One of the first drivers to kind of get tied up in this one. Let's take a look and see kind of what happens here. Casey just getting a bad push here, potentially to the back bumper of the 64 ride. Goes down onto the apron. No, looks like, oh, it's Hoggard who gets down into that 0-5 ride. Obviously a little bent out of shape. The 12 ride then goes up the racetrack, collects the 91. Nowhere to go right there for Russell Peets as Peets comes back down the racetrack, collects that 0-5 ride of Win, and Win spinning around here. More contact as everyone's trying to get checked up. Everyone's trying to avoid the carnage that's happening down low. You do see the 1 ride turned around going through the bus stop here on the back straightaway for the Daytona Road Course. The 32 ride of William S. getting up into the outside fence. The 15 with some pretty heavy damage there as well. Chris Melton getting tied up in another incident out there on the speedway. So our bull sitter just cannot keep himself out of trouble out there on the racetrack. Let's play this back and take another look at it, as unfortunately a lot of drivers just getting tore up here in this heat race, man. Things have went from worse to worse here for a lot of these cats, and unfortunately a lot of drivers right here inside of a transfer spot now all of a sudden towards the back of the field, hopefully still have that quick repair and the ability to try to get their cars back into the action here this afternoon, as quite a few cars getting heavy contact, heavy damage there when you start slamming into each other and into that outside fence. If you walk down the racetrack and start hop, skipping, and jumping down through the infield, can create a lot of contact and a lot of damage there for the suspension, for the drive, and for the aerodynamics of these race cars. And unfortunately, a lot of these cats tore up, and unfortunately potentially could be out of this race, as we'll get them ready to roll here once again, as Tommy Thompson out in front leading the way here in this one. Tommy Thompson showing these drivers how to get it done, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, and are ready to go back to green flag racing here this evening. As Kenny Real says, all right, just making sure because I'm not back at the setup right now. Laugh out loud. You still got a little time. You still got a little time there, Kenny. Still a little time here, and I don't see, no, there's no warm-up. I figured there'd be a little warm-up or something there to kind of get all the drivers that were in heat race number 1 kind of back into the swing of things and in some time to kind of give these drivers in the second heat race a little bit of a break right there, but it looks like we'll be loading straight into our feature event here once we see the checkered flag fly here for heat race number 2. Is out in front, continuing to lead the way. It is Tommy Thompson. Thompson, 1 and 2 on the racetrack. Tommy down low in the 7 ride. The 42, that is Aubrey Thompson in the outside groove. There you see the 24 ride of Caden Dinerich there in that 3rd position. Cameron Craighead up and into 4th. Boris S. in the 88 now in 5th with Jane Blue. Travis Roberto, Gary Steele, James Wagner, Noah P. Johnson rounding out our top 10. Johnny Evans, Alex Hamrick, Jeff Hogard, Sean Foottrell, Reese Melton, Curtis Kelly, Dakota Williams, Ryan Sizemore, Tony H, and Casey Wynn rounding out our top 20 out there on the Speedway. As top 20 will transfer into the show here this afternoon. Unfortunately, everybody else has got to go as we do see Victor Pfluger trying to hitch up back to the field. And unfortunately, looks like the 960 rider, Sean English, has left the building. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one of the drivers leading laps here and a strong competitor this afternoon, now off the racetrack and out of this race, and that's going to eliminate him from this feature event. We also see William S. in the 32 down and out of this race. Jason Dudley also off the racetrack. Brennan McKee, Nicholas Machen, Peyton Strickland, and Curtis Rogers also down and out of this race as we are going back to green flag racing. Our first attempt at NASCAR overtime here in heat race number 2. As quickly you see the 7 right out in front, the 24 of Caden Dinerich going to make some moves here from the bottom side up to the high side here, and Aubrey Thompson going to go with them and pushing the 24 right out in front as they leave the 7. Unfortunately there for Tommy Thompson, high and dry. Thompson slides back into that 6th position as a little contact down the back straightaway. They're 3, 4, 5 wide down the backstretch into corner number 3 and 4. Everyone somehow making it through that 3rd corner, but things are still very, very tight as they're trying to race their way up towards the front of the field. Unfortunately, being 3 wide, 4 wide out there on the racetrack, not a whole lot of momentum, and the battle for that 20th position is heating up as contact. Look out, the 91, the 64. There goes the 40 ride. There goes the 05. Casey Wynn collected. The 41 collected, and we see the checkered flag fly right there as, okay, that wasn't a true green-white checker. That was a green checkered out there on the Speedway. That's a odd one. We normally don't see those out there on the Speedway, but the checkered flag flies out there on the Speedway for heat race number 2. And we'll go back through our finishing order as Caden Dinerich able to pick up the win there in our 2nd heat race with Aubrey Thompson. Cameron Craighead, our top 3 out there on the racetrack. There we see Jade in position number 4. Blue Jay there in 4th with Noah Johnson, Tommy Thompson, Travis Roberto, Boris S. If anyone knows how to say that name, please jump into the comment section and let us know. Is Boris there in the 8th position? Johnny Evans back in 9th, and Gary Steele rounding out our top 10. James Wagner, Curtis Kelly, Jeff Hogard, Dakota Williams, Russell Peets, Alex Hamrick, Casey Wynn, and James Lindsay, our top 18. They all work themselves into the show. They all work themselves inside our A-Main feature event here this afternoon, as we'll take a look at the final 2 transfer spots. The number 19 position goes to Sean Futrell and Chris Melton, our pole sitter, who got bounced around multiple times out there in that second heat race, comes home with the 20th and final transfer spot here this afternoon, as Melton, luckily enough, just escaping through that one, able to survive and able to work himself into this A-main feature event. Unfortunately, the 0-3 Orion Sizemore, Tommy H, Kingsley Nowako there in 23rd, Victor Pfluger, William S, Sean English, Jason Dudley, Brennan McKee, Peyton Strickland, Curtis Rogers, and Nicholas Matchin, unfortunately, all will not make it into this A-main feature event. The bottom 11 drivers there are unfortunately not advancing, as only the top 20 will work themselves into this A-main feature event, and we're going to get ready to rock and roll. The A-main about to get underway as drivers quickly jumping out onto the racetrack, ready to rock and roll here this afternoon. As things are a little broken up here, SDK has the starting lineup a little bit busted. Let's see if we can take a look here at our top few drivers, as the 39 ride out in front, our first heat race winner of the evening, will lead us to the green flag here this evening. I'm not sure where they've got this 39 ride starting here, as SDK a little broken up right now with eliminating some of these drivers. There we go. It's Daniel Folkingham who will start in the top spot here. Folkingham and Caden Dieterich will bring us down to the green flag here in our A-main feature event. Adam Williams will start there in third in that 69 ride, into his outside in the number 48 machine. That is Cameron Craighead. Craighead will start there in position number 4. Starting in the 5th spot is Blade Wilson. Then we see Blue Jade. Kenny Reel back there in the 11 ride. Colby Yule there in 5th with Noah Johnson, Nick Sipple, Tommy Thompson, Colton Jordan, Travis Roberto, Zachariah Cartledge, Boris S, Trevor Catalano back there just outside our top 15. Then we see Ken Zeems, Johnny Evans, Brock Operman, Gary Steele, Benjamin Elliott, James Wagner, Curtis Kelly, Tyler Catalano, Jeff Hogard, Noah Miller, Dakota Williams, George Buck, Jeff Scott, Russell Peets, Alex Hamrick, Casey Wynn, James Lindsay, bringing up the rear of the field here in this one. Actually, we do see the 52 ride here. I don't know why it's not showing up. There's some drivers that just do not show up here on the board. I'm not sure why they're not, as we do see the 41 ride. That is Sean Futrell. We see Frankie Klein there, as well as Chris Melton. Ryan Sizemore not out there on the racetrack. We're trying to see if we see Tommy H. Nope. Doug Ezel, as I think eliminating some of these drivers out there on the racetrack is they have 60 cars on track and are arguing with race control. I just got screwed over. It's wraps. Oh no. For the commentator, there's only 50 minutes on the session, so it will not be 50 laps. Oh my gosh. Listen, I don't put this on, man. I just broadcast, brother. I don't set these things up. 50 minutes and counting down. It's like 45 laps at the time. Yeah, and if we see a bunch of caution flags, it's going to be a lot more laps. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that timer out there. I know Travis Roberto, one of the guys that put this on. Unfortunately, he's not very used to doing these. And I'm not sure if he's used to putting these together and having the time limits and everything else set up. So I think it's kind of getting a little broken up here for some of these drivers. So it's going to get tough here, ladies and gentlemen. For a lot of these cats, I don't know how they're going to try to figure this one out. And obviously dealing with some issues trying to get this race started, trying to figure out where people line up, trying to figure out where drivers are supposed to be. They're already see, I don't know why on the scoreboard it's got some drivers already scored a lap down out there on the racetrack. Some of these drivers for me don't even pop up on the screen here. There we go. We see Frankie Klein, Sean Futrell out there, Chris Melton in the 52. Bear with us here in this one, ladies and gentlemen. We're trying to figure it out. We're trying to get things rocking and rolling. I can't help. I have no admin control. I can't make any decisions or make anything happen out there on the racetrack. It's all down to the admin crew and the race control. They're the ones behind the scenes that make all this work, and we'll see if we go green flag racing here soon enough. This has gotten a little bit wild here in this one, as I don't know what's going on, and see, that's another reason why I do not like that top scoreboard, is it's going to show all the drivers that unfortunately did not make it into this A main feature event as well. Should have almost took the top 30, gave them a password, and started a separate session potentially. As here we go, our A main feature event's gonna get underway as Daniel Folkingham leads us down to the green flag. The 39 right out in front, leading us down here on the front straightaway for the first time here in our A main feature event. As you do see another driver just getting back out onto the racetrack. That's the fourth ride down onto the apron, rolling out there onto the speedway, as out in front it is this 39 machine continuing to try to hold all these drivers back there at bay, looking to try to put himself up into victory lane, as we do see one driver down on the apron here. I believe that was James Lindsay. Lindsay in the TSC number 41. Down and off the speedway, down the back straightaway, no caution flag. We keep it clean and green. There goes the 06 ride around him right there, as Folkingham out in front, leading this race here. Folkingham out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done, as I don't know what's going on here with the scoreboard, so bear with us here in this one, as it's showing me right now that Daniel Folkingham is back in the 33rd position, as I think the heat races and then going to the feature event, and unfortunately, I don't know how it didn't get set up correctly. I don't know how it got broken up, but for some reason it has really messed up this server, and this server is gone completely backwards here for us, as there's contact. Look out, the 24 ride of Caden Dinerich almost going around right there. Luckily enough, able to catch it, keep that car pointing the right direction, and keep on rolling there on the speedway, as I think it's finally getting the scoreboard kind of figured back out. I think SDK is starting to learn here how to run things, as there's contact. Look out, down through corner number 1 and 2. It's the number 77 of Colton Jordan, who's going to go around. Heavy damage there for the 77. Heavy damage. I believe that's the 30 ride collected. The 91 ride now going to get turned around. The 71 machine also tied up in this one. Curtis Kelly, nowhere there for him to go, as he's parked down onto the apron here. That is a tough break and a heartbreaker there for Curtis Kelly here in this one. Let's take a look back and see what happens and how this kind of gets started down through corner number 1 and 2. And we're going to take a look here at that 77 ride. It's unfortunately here for the 77. That is Colton Jordan, and Jordan ends up with a ton of damage. He's the first one to kind of go around here. I'm going to find him now again on this scoreboard. Where is... There he is, Colton Jordan. So watch this 77 right here, ladies and gentlemen. He's going to get a good run down into corner number 1 here. The 16 ride, sticking right there to his back bumper. I do believe that is the 16 machine of Nicholas Rendo. I could be wrong. Nope, it's not Rendo. I'm not sure if that's Cartledge, actually, I do believe, as you do see the 77. He's going to get turned there. Just a bad push down through the entry point here of the corner. Gets him loose, gets him on the racetrack, slams the 30 and himself up into the outside fence. That's where we see the 71 get collected right there. Heavy damage for himself. A lot of other drivers also getting tore up in that one. You see drivers trying to avoid each other. Unfortunately for the 91 ride, two heavily damaged race cars that are having steering issues. Obviously, right fronts, left fronts tore apart there on the 77 and the 30. They slam into them. As let's take another look back at this one. As man, that is a tough hit, a heavy contact right there for Colton Jordan. His night may be quickly coming to a close. Let's get another angle here at this contact as watch the 77. That is cartilage right there. That's going to get a piece of him. He gets a shot from the 45 that kind of gets him down onto the apron there a little bit. Kind of gets him out of groove in a good lane to start to push that 77. Nowhere to go for the 30. 45 right of Cantilano, the 88 getting some damage there. Elliott in the 78, heavy contact as well as you see that 77, the 71 hard up into the outside fence. 35 right blinking pretty heavily down there on the apron, but luckily I'm kind of getting through there. But a lot of drivers tore up here early on in this race, in a early caution flag. Gonna count down the time a little bit quicker out there on the speedway as these caution flags are going to take us closer and closer to this checkered flag. And each of these yellow flags is going to get us closer to the finish of this race as there's a time limit out there on the racetrack. Not a bad push. Watch the replay. Got slammed into him. I really wouldn't call it slam, but he did get a shot there to kind of get that number 16 a little bent out of shape. And let's take a look back here. Let's see if we can find that 16 ride. Not knowing drivers, it's tough to find everybody out there on the speedways. Watch from this angle. Let's see if we can get a good shot of it right here. Yeah, you see the 45. He's going to give a bad push. Well, actually, the 88 kind of helping the 45 right out as well. Obviously, taking that momentum just kind of down onto the apron right there and just kind of off the back bumper, just the wrong place, the wrong time for the little bit of pushing and shoving here. And unfortunately, those bad pushes all kind of lead together, give all that momentum to the back end of that 16. Launches him forward right there into that 77 ride. And, man, tough break there for the 30. Tough break for Curtis Kelly, the 78. All these cats that were just innocent bystanders there, rolling to the outside groove. A great piece of racing, though, for that 35 ride. Able to get checked up and down onto the apron to avoid getting collected there in that one. As we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to try to go back to green flag racing as Daniel Folkingham continues to lead the way. Folkingham out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one as the laps are clicking down, but so isn't that time frame, as each and every one of these caution flags going to click off multiple minutes out there on the racetrack. And already we're inching closer to 15 minutes into this session, leaving us with 35 minutes left to try to get 45 laps of racing action in. I don't know if we're going to have enough time here, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think they're going to get the estimated 50 laps done, which is just going to grow the intensity even more, knowing that the caution flags and knowing that the time frame is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. These drivers get to kind of watch that. They kind of get to see, you know, how long and when they really need to start to push, and that's going to create more chaos and more carnage. And if we hit that 50 minutes left in this race, it's going to end on the next lap, or it's going to end under the caution flag. And unfortunately for a lot of these drivers, they may be in the position that they don't want to be in. For some of them, they're going to be very much welcoming that 50-minute timer here for this feature event. So it's going to make things very, very interesting here late in this race, and how that could really play a factor here on the evening for these drivers, knowing that they know that this time frame is going to be playing a big factor here in this feature event. As down through the Geico restart zone, we will go back to green flag racing as Daniel Folkingham leads the way quickly, jumps from that bottom groove up to the outside lane as Adam Williams right back to his rear bumper. The Trump 69 rider pushing this 39 machine to the front of the field. Keeping Daniel Volkingham out in front as down low. The Tilly's number 18 machine of Blaine Wilson trying to get that inside groove rolling here as he's got the 48 of Cameron Cragen, the 11 of Kenny Reel right there on his back bumper. Kenny Reel, one of those drivers that was able to jump up and make the move and lead some laps there in heat race number 1 and almost got the job done beating that 39 ride of Daniel Volkingham. Would love to try to get back up there and start dicing it up again with that 39 ride as drivers trying to inch themselves closer and closer to the front of the field. We do see Chris Melton already working himself up and into the 11th position. He was the last driver into this A-main feature event. Finished 20th there in that second heat race by the skin of his hairs there as that oh man, that 52 ride got tore up, got collected in multiple wrecks there in that second heat race. Used the quick repair, still had a ton of damage. Luckily enough, was able to keep on rolling out there on the speedway and was able to steal that final transfer position into this A-main feature event. And here he is racing from 40th now, just outside the top 10 in the 52, looking to make some moves as the 83 ride of Blue Jade gets shuffled back here just ever so slightly in opening up the opportunity here as we do see the caution flag come back out as NXCXO06 is FYI. The 35 is pronounced Operman, not Opperman. Have I been saying Opperman? Operman. My bad. Hard to tell, though. Text, I know. Good luck, everyone. Cheering on all these drivers. They're going to need some luck here as we do see the caution flag come back out here in this one. And now we did see Curtis Kelly, George Buck, both off the racetrack. Let's take a look back here and see what happens to them as 71 right, Curtis Kelly. He's kind of been all around it here this afternoon as well as... Actually, we're a little too far forward here. Let's go a little farther back here and take another look at this one as this yellow flag gets displayed out there on the racetrack. Curtis Kelly already off the racing surface here. Let's see if we can find some of these other drivers that are potentially going to get tied up or part of this caution flag. As I don't see anybody turned around as of yet. No issues out there on the racetrack, so I'm not sure where this yellow flag was displayed. Everyone seems to be pointing in the right direction, so fortunately, I'm not sure where this yellow flag, this caution flag decided to come from, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of a ghost one out there on the speedway, and unfortunately, nothing for us to go off of here for that yellow flag. I don't see James Wagner. A lot of these other drivers turned around. No one was spun in the wrong direction, so looks like an admin caution being tossed out there onto the racetrack, and that's just going to make things that much more interesting as another caution flag and another, man, that's going to be bad. That's going to be tough as more minutes, more precious minutes to try to get this race in are taken off the board here with a second caution flag of the day. And for an admin caution, definitely not what you want to see out there on the speedways. We did see Trevor Cantilino, James Lindsay, Trevor Cantilino, a lot of these drivers, Sean Luttrell also come down pit side here. So we can go back and see if we can find these drivers, see if they were potentially tied up in something as there's the 45. Let's see if we can go back and see this 45 ride, see if they were apart. Maybe a couple of the drivers went down through the infield. Maybe that's why the caution flag got thrown out there on the racetrack, as I'm not too sure why we saw the caution flag come out here. Let's take a look. They were all kind of just running together here. There was no one that really went around. Bumps, some beating and banging. Everyone trying to push their way back up towards the front of the field here. But yeah, admin caution. No one turned around. No one bent out of shape there. And caution flag going to come out. So tough one for all these drivers, as that's going to make things that much tougher out there on the speedway as Daniel Folkingham continues to lead the way. Folkingham out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one as the 6K Coca-Cola 39 ride at the front of the field. The 18 rider Blaine Wilson into that second spot with Adam Williams, Cameron Craighead, and Caden Deiderich rounding out our top 5 here on the speedway. Kenny Reel, Noah Johnson, Colby Uhl, Nick Sipple, and Tommy Thompson rounding out our top 10 out there on the racetrack. Chris Melton, Jade Blue, Brock Opperman there in 13th with Travis Roberto. Boris S back there in the 15th position. Zachariah Cartledge there in the 16th spot, trying to get that 16 ride back up to the front of the field. Jeff Hoggard there in position number 17 with Benjamin Elliott, Ken Zeems, Aubrey Thompson, Jeff Scott, Noah Miller, Russell Pete, Nicholas Rendo, George Buck. Rounding out our top 25 out there on the racetrack, and a lot of hungry other cats back there behind them, all trying to race their way back up to the front of the field here in this one, looking to try to earn themselves that $150 payday here this evening as the lights are once again turned off the official iRacing safety car. And take a look here. Let's take a check as we do see like Adam Williams deciding to take the bus stop down the backstretch there once again, having a little bit of fun out there on the speedway, and now going to get ready for this restart and see if he can continue to push that 39 ride out in front of the field as time is continuing to click down here. 22 minutes already off the board, and really that's rolling closer to the halfway point here. It's like Hop without the H. Opperman. Is that what I could say? Opperman? Opperman. Or have I been saying Opperman? 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 Honestly, I don't really care. I don't. I honestly don't. As we get ready to go back to green flag racing, Daniel Folkingham out in front, continuing to lead the way here in this one as the 39 right back onto the lap pedal. The 39 quickly trying to launch himself out in front and away from the rest of the field here, trying to get that 69 right, glued right to his back bumper, trying to make sure they can clear that 18 machine of Blaine Wilson, and so far, mission accomplished. Down through corner number 1 and 2 is the 69 right. Continue to push him out in front. The 24 of Caden Deiderich, our second heat race winner, after rebounding after going around early in that heat race, being able to work himself right back into the battle and picking up that heat race win as he's got the HendrickCars.com number 62 right. Noah Johnson there on his back bumper. Kenny Reel rounding out our top 5 as our top 5 starting to separate themselves from the rest of the field. Door to door back there behind him for that 6th and 7th position. The 75 rider Nick Sipple rolling there in 6 as Chris melted into his back bumper, and unfortunately that outside lane dissipating in a quick Korean for the 18 rider Blaine Wilson slides all the way back into position number 8. Wilson definitely not the restart he was hoping for, as we see another driver. That's Corey Uhl down the back straightaway. The internal number 8 ride Hop skipping it and jumping down through the bus stop here, still down through the grass into corner number 3. Look at that car, still trying to get that thing checked up and not roll back out onto the racetrack in front of the field. Luckily enough, he is able to keep that car from entering the racetrack right there and creating a lot of chaos and carnage, and he's able to keep that thing rolling down into the front straightaway. As out in front, the battle at the front of the field, it's Daniel Folkingham who continues to lead the way. Folkingham there in the top spot with Adam Williams there in second. Noah Johnson is lookout, contact, around goes Caden Deiderich. Deiderich unfortunately going around here. Let's take a look at some heavy contact drivers just trying to work themselves through there. Oh man, the 05 ride once again getting tied up in another wreck here down through corner 2 and down the back straightaway. You do see Caden Deiderich. He's already taken his car down behind pit wall here, and off the racetrack is another caution flag. More precious minutes unfortunately getting clicked off of this race as let's take a look back here. to this yellow flag. How this kind of gets started, as he was part of that top 5 there, top 7 kind of broken away from the rest of the field. Once again, just pushing, shoving here at the front, some bad shoves, and unfortunately, drivers just not lined up perfectly together. You see that 62 right all over the back bumper of Dieterich, and pushing him here, trying to get this pack kind of separated from everybody else. But if you watch the 62 and that 24 ride, they get some good shoves. They kind of get bent out of shape. They get hard into the back bumper of the 69 ride, but you see where the 24 is pushing and where the 24 gets pushed, and you see this car just get bent out of shape. Car gets log jammed there a little bit, hard up into the outside fence. Heavy damage there for him. His night may be done in a quick hurry there. He split-second mistakes down through corner 1 and 2, and now he's just trying to hang on to it, hoping for the best, and everyone trying to figure their way out, as you do see Opperman able to just barely get through there, unfortunately, for the 83. Oh, man, that's a tough break right there for Blue, as Blue Jade unfortunately getting tied up in it. We see Casey win there with some pretty good damage, as well as that 35 ride also getting tore up out there, as well as Opperman. Man, heavy contact there for Opperman, as I believe that was Opperman in that purple car. Let's double check and make sure we don't get that wrong. It's tough to know every one of these drivers' numbers. A lot of these drivers, first time we've seen them in action here on Peacemaker Gaming. So it's interesting to see a lot of different cats, as that was that 35 ride of Opperman. Opperman, unfortunately, does get a pretty good piece of this one. See here, let's jump on board with this car, see what he can see from the cockpit of this 35 ride, as he's trying to keep himself out of trouble, just trying to cruise a little deeper in the field here by this time. And 24 right up into the outside fence, comes back down the racetrack. The 83 slams into him. They get parked right there in front of him. He ends up getting some pretty good contact there. The right front getting tore up there on that 35 ride. And a lot of these cats will take their rides down pit side, look to get some repairs, trying to get them fixed up. And see that 24 ride going to be down pit side for an extended period of time. Heavy damage on every corner of that 24. And for Caden Dieterich, his afternoon and his opportunity to potentially pick up this checkered flag may have went out the window, as we also see the 62 and Noah Johnson. He is down and out of this race as well. So that's really going to mix things up here towards the front of the field. A lot of drivers making that strategy call. A lot of drivers coming down pit side right there, knowing that fuel could potentially play an issue here this evening. Where is our race leader here? We're not too sure where. There's Daniel Folkingham. Folkingham still up there towards the front of the pack, but it's now showing 56 of Benjamin Elliott as our race leader in the 48, which is actually the 28. That is George Buck in position number 2, so they did not come down pit road. We did see Daniel Folkingham come down pit side, Adam Williams, Nick Seipel, and we did see Kenny Reel and all these other drivers head down pit road and make some caution flag pit stops right there, making sure that they were good on fuel here. And quickly we're getting there, as my onboard was crazy, laugh out loud. There was a lot of crazy onboards right there. I'm sure there was a lot of them, man, that just barely get through there. Daytona's always just so wild when it comes to these yellow flags, and watching some of these drivers that just somehow miraculously make their way through some of that carnage. We've seen some absolutely wild ones, drivers flipping and sliding all over their front bumper, but really getting no contact or no damage out of it, and just barely being right there in what I would call the hot pocket out there on the racetrack, and just barely able to avoid a lot of chaos, as looks like the officials, everyone trying to get things figured out, trying to get these drivers lined back up and ready to go back to green flag racing, as Jolty coming in, showing the love, says hello in the chat. How are you, Jolty? Coming in, showing the love here in this one. Is ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button. Hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here this afternoon. As these drivers are ready to duke it out, ready to go to battle here in this one. As man, oh man, it's been a wild afternoon. A lot of back and forth, a lot of carnage, a lot of chaos out there on the speedway. We'll get ready here for another restart. As already... Why is the white flag out? This is an interesting one. Okay. Oh, maybe it's just the white flag saying that we're going back to green flag racing, but you do see that timer right here. See where that mouse is pointed up in the top middle. I don't know if you guys can see there or not, but we're down to 31 minutes out of 50, so 19 minutes left until this race becomes official, until this race sees that caution flag. And oh brother, right off the restart we see them go back around. Drivers tied up, they're wrecking here on the front straightaway. More drivers piling in there, more drivers going around, and the caution flag will come back out. So cautions breeding cautions here at Daytona, and the last thing I think a lot of these drivers wanted to see was another yellow flag and more time taken off the board here in this one. I'm not sure where this gets started or where this happens, as we'll take a look at Dakota Williams here in the 59 right now. He was kind of turned around. He was tied up in this one, and unfortunately for the Buck-off Performance number 59 machine, the Haas ride. See if there's contact in front of them, if this gets started a little earlier, as you do see them kind of stacking up there in the outside lane, and that's exactly where you see this kind of getting bent out of shape. So watch the 77 ride here. That is Colton Jordan. So Colton Jordan gonna get into the back end of this 30 machine here, and unfortunately for the 30 of James Wagner, he gets a big shot, bounces into the back end of the 38. They kind of get log jammed right there. He gets bent out of shape, comes down the racetrack into the 88, hooks the Columbia Star Wars 88 machine, turned around, nowhere to go for Cameron Crankhead, nowhere to go for the 59, as him and the 45 going to come together down low, as Jade Blue nowhere to go, as she slams into that one. The 7 ride of Tommy Thompson. He's trying to work his way through that contact and through that carnage. That's where you see the 45, the 59 ride come together. Cameron Crankhead tied up in another one. Man, let's take a look here at this 7 ride as, man, Tommy Thompson's going to have a wild scene here. This is one of those hot pocket moments that we were talking about, as down to the tri-oval, into the Geico restart zone. Everyone back up onto the throttle, back up through the gears, and all of a sudden, chaos ensues here right in front of the 7 ride. A lot of smoke. Oh, he does get some heavy damage there as he gets slammed into from behind. I'm not sure who gets into him, but boy, oh boy, I bet you those rear tires up and off the ground here for this 7 machine, as this is the Carvana number 84 ride. He's going to come in here with a big head of speed. Actually, I don't even know where. What? I don't know what just happened. He got slammed into by somebody. Maybe the 64. I don't know who the heck just hit him, but there was no car there. Someone was blanking, having some internet connection issues right there, and I don't know who in the world it was. They were not displayed on the racetrack for quite a while. And unfortunately for the 7 ride, he does end up with some damage right there, as I don't know who the ghost car was. But unfortunately, Devin getting some damage. You see the 64 down onto the apron right there as he reappears, potentially the culprit there in that one. But a lot of drivers again tore up here down on the front straightaway. Another caution flag, and that's going to get us closer to the finish of this race, and potentially playing a little bit of strategy here and taking a early caution flag to come down and get some extra fuel into the 78, and now seeing more caution flags out there on the racetrack, and everyone coming back down pit side there during our penultimate caution flag. They're our second to last caution flag. We saw Daniel Folkingham, who was our race leader, come down pit road, and all these other drivers down pit side as well. But for the 78, he knows that that time frame is starting to click down in a quick hurry, and track position being more key than fuel. You may not need all that fuel out there on the racetrack. We'll get them stacked up, we'll get them racked up, we'll get ready to try this all over again, as we are now over 35 minutes into this race, and we are officially into the final 15 minutes here to try to this race completed, to see where this one finishes up, see where these drivers can get things done here this afternoon. Ooh, baby, okay. Well, things gonna get a little bit more spicy here. As, man, lights back off the official iRacing pace car. Let's see if we can get some good green flag laps in here. See some good, clean racing out there on the racetrack once again, and see if we can at least click off a good handful of laps before things get wild again, before we see more caution flags, and before we see potentially this race end under time constraints, as only 50 laps allotted to this feature event. And right now, with all the yellow flags, we are not going to get all 50 laps in here in this one. The laps are going to end. Drivers are not happy with each other on radio. Oh, I can imagine what the race chat sounds like. I can only imagine what's going on. There's a lot of drivers that are probably not very happy. You know, at the end of the day, when you put money on the line, everybody has that much more pressure, or that much more at stake, and tempers seem to fly a lot easier in a quick hurry when we see money on the line. Even though it was free to enter, nobody had to pay anything to get into this race. A lot of guys feel they're entitled to, you know, maybe special treatment or preferential treatment out there on the racetrack, and feel that, you know, if they get tied up in something that, you know, they should get the benefit of the doubt, or they should get, you know, special treatment to get back into a position that they, you know, were in before getting tied up in a yellow flag or anything else. And it can really make these races that much more spicy, especially when drivers get mad and drivers are unhappy out there on the racetrack. More and more contact, more and more bold moves continue to fly as we go back to green flag racing. 78 ride trying to stay out in front, but Daniel Folkingham with a great restart and quickly has that SpongeBob SquarePants 75 right onto his back bumper. Now moving down to the inside groove. One car up into the outside fence. I believe that was, not too sure who that was. That was the 45 ride right there. Unfortunately getting tied up. That's Trevor Cantilano right there getting tied up. Is down the back straightaway. Drivers down onto the apron. Drivers trying to figure out where they need to go. Is unfortunately caution flag is going to come back out. Oh. You can't make it up, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look here. We do see the 45 up into the outside fence. You see the 7 ride back here just behind him. Now, we didn't see this. We did see just out of our peripherals there for the 45 ride getting into the fence, but the 7 ride here of Tommy Thompson, as things get checked up in front of him. Unfortunately, the 05, I do believe that 05 ride again, unfortunately not getting checked up. The 24 ride of Diner Rich, he gets collected in it. Jade Blue in there as well. Drivers going around, tore up here again on the back straightaway. Let's get another angle at it, another look at it here, as, man, that's another couple tough hits, another couple tough incidences out here on the racetrack, and another quick caution flag here as issues in front of them, things getting stacked up. It's actually the 53, not the 45, who ends up into the outside fence right there. That's Tyler Cantilano in the 53. It's the wrong Cantilano that I was talking about, but you do see the 05 to 7 get tied together. They wash down the racetrack. They collect the 24 ride, as unfortunately he gets tied up in another incident. The 30 machine as well tore up here again on the racetrack, and Jade Blue also getting some damage there as well, as the yellow flag back out onto the speedway, and we get closer and closer to the checkered flag here this evening, as that was, but getting a lap back out there on the racetrack. I believe that was the 59 rider, Dakota Williams, trying to race his way back onto the lead lap. All these caution flags definitely giving him an opportunity to try to get enough free passes, enough lucky dogs to get back into this race, as Daniel Folkingham, the one Pro Series driver out there on the speedway, sitting in that top spot, and right now sitting pretty as the time constraints continue to click down. Less than 10 minutes left to go until we see the checkered flag out there on the speedway. Now, it may be under the caution flag, it may be under green flag. I'm not sure how this race is going to end, but nonetheless, it's going to be quite controversial here this evening for, I'm sure, the Mach 10 Motorsports crew, for the admin crew, for pretty much every one of these drivers and fans in the stands. It's going to get a little bit crazy here. Now, once again, I want to reiterate that I have no control on how the race is set up, how the laps and time and everything else is distributed, and obviously I have no control over how the caution flags get thrown, how the admins make calls or anything else. I'm just up here on the broadcast booth. I'm on an island all by myself up here doing our thing here in the booth this afternoon, and we just get to roll with the punches and roll with what happens out there on the speedway, and we just get to announce and see what we can see here with our own two eyes out there on the speedway. As we'll get them ready to roll here, we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing. I'm going to get a quick drink into me, and we're going to get ready to rock and roll here once again out there on the speedway.
Turbocharged hawk, piston pumping like a beast. Black top jungle, feast on chaos, grab the grease. 180 miles of asphalt and forgiven. In this chaos driven life, only the fearless living. Checkered flag visions, adrenaline addiction. Metal chorus blare, ain't no friction fiction. Drafting on the homies, camaraderie's the trigger. Slides on the track, bombs ready, yeah we bigger. Brother dreams, chasing speed and money. Engines roaring loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins. Run till we drop, or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul. Cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine. Track burning hot, toasting every line. Hit stop hustle, seconds ticking like grenades. Oil stained glory, history never fades. Helmet and visor, it's a warrior's enchantment. Every turn a gamble, every lap a commitment. Crowds roar, amplifies high-octane behavior. Victory tastes sharp, savoring the flavor. Wind in the helmet, destiny's a blur. Burning rubber dreams, all senses concur. Rubber dreams, chasing speed and might. Engines roaring loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins. Run till we drop, or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul. Cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine. Track burning hot, toasting every line. Running up the dreams, chasing speed and light. Engines roaring loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins. Run till we drop, or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul. Cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine. Track burning hot, toasting every line.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, here you go. We're going to go back to green flag racing now. There says to be 25 laps left to go in this race. We will not make it to that 25 lap here this afternoon. We will not make it to the 50 laps completed, as the caution flags and the laps being so long here at Daytona International Speedway. And another caution flag probably about to come out as we see more drivers running into problems here. Drivers bent out of shape, drivers sliding around. We'll wait and see if that caution flag gets displayed again, as a bunch of drivers tore up. There it is, caution flag back out there on the racetrack, as Man, this has been a tough one. This has been a rough ride for a lot of these drivers. Let's take a look here and find the 42 ride. Who we're looking to try to find here. Where is the 42? Can't seem to find it. There's Aubrey Thompson. So if we watch this 42 ride, things kind of get bent out of shape right there as the 42, the 8 get tied together. The 42 comes back up into Chris Welton. They all kind of get tied together. We see Travis Roberto in there, more drivers down through the infield there, and a lot of carnage here. Chris Melton, heavy damage into the outside fence right there. It's been tough luck all day long for that 52 ride in, and a lot of these other drivers definitely not the way they wanted things to go. As contact down low between the 42 and the 8, trying to get things rolling here again on the front straightaway, and unfortunately we can't make it down into corner number 1, and that's where we see that caution flag come out. And oh no, Brock Operman also tied up here in this one. Brock getting turned around there. We do see the 53 and the 45. That's the Cantalano crew, as the number 53 and 45 ride are both Cantalanos out there on the speedway. And unfortunately for this 35 ride, Brock Opperman also getting tied up here now. He is linking there a little bit on the racetrack there. We don't get a good look at him. Things are stacking up. The 7 right up on the outside, or 77 right up in the outside lane of Colton Jordan. Looks like he's going to get a shot into the back bumper. That's going to send the 77 ride down the racetrack, and see if we can find Colton out here and see if we can get a look or a perspective here for the number 77 machine. There he is, as another look at it here. See the contact. As we saw the contact up at the front of the field that sends that car down low, but you do see it right there. So the 53, the 45 coming in a big hurry. They slam into the back end of the 77. He comes down the racetrack, unfortunately, and collects the 35 ride. We see more drivers sliding down on the apron here, trying to keep themselves pointed in the right direction. The 59 ride going for a quick little loop-de-loop down here through corner number 2, and flank back out there onto the speedway, but looks like we're going to quickly get these drivers locked and loaded and ready to go back to green flag racing. So it's going to get a little bit quicker here, as number 35 is 100% out of the race. Yeah, that is a heartbreaker right there for Operman out there on the speedways. Operman, a lot of these drivers, unfortunately, already down and out of this race. A lot of carnage, a lot of chaos out there on the speedway. And unfortunately, that has shortened this race insurmountably here this afternoon, as down the back straightaway, getting ready to go back to green flag racing. We got 2 minutes left. We got 2 minutes left until this checkered flag flies, ladies and gentlemen. So this is probably going to be our green-white checkered finish. Honestly, this is probably going to be a green-white checkered finish. Now, it may be one green flag lap and then the white flag displayed after that. So it may be 2 laps left in this race, but we'll have to wait and see where iRacing officially calls it. They may call it right at the 50-minute marker and end the race as soon as it hits that 50 minutes or the next time by the start-finish line, and they may not even have a white flag here for the end of this race, as iRacing sometimes pulls some different things, especially when that timer runs out and the 50 minutes is pretty much up here this evening, as Daniel Folkingham looking to try to cash in and earn that $150 payday to his outside. That 69 right of Adam Williams rolling there in position number 2. We do see Folkingham stay down to the inside lane here, and door back there behind him. Drivers know that this is going to be their last opportunities to try to race their way into a payday here this evening, as Folkingham and Williams continue to work well here together. 1 and 2 on the speedway. They'll lead us down the back straightaway. The 42 ride doing a Tokyo drift down through corner number 2 as they spread out back here behind him. Oh man, I do believe the caution flag already coming back out, or did they already throw the checkered flag here in this race? Nope, caution flag coming back out. I don't know why we just saw the caution flag. I do believe this race is now going to officially end under the yellow flag, as looks like George Buck, oh, there's the 28 going around right there. That's why we saw the 42 doing a Tokyo drift down out of corner number 2, as there's contact here 28, 42 come together. 17 nowhere to go as that 42. Hard contact up into the outside fence. 42 down onto the apron. Back up there onto the racetrack. Here comes Colton Jordan. Those drivers running into issues. That's where we see the caution flag displayed here once again on the afternoon. And now for Daniel Folkingham, he definitely wanted to see that caution flag. And for Adam Williams, Benjamin Elliott, Nick Sipple, and Kenny Reel all in a payday position right now. And if this race decides to end under this caution flag, they're going to be in the money here this evening. Unfortunately, everyone else, they're going to run out of opportunities. We'll see if we can go back to green flag racing. The lights are still on the official iRacing pace car here. Is Folkingham leading the way here in this one? I do believe that timer is over. I do believe this race is going to be over here, as the time limit has come to a close. I believe down across the line, we're going to see this checkered flag fly, ladies and gentlemen. With only 20 laps left to go in this race, it was meant to be 50 laps to complete. Looks like we're going to get 30 laps in here in this one. A lot of them under that caution flag is down across the line. We'll see if that checkered flag does get displayed here. No, still the yellow flag flying, so not over yet. iRacing blessing us right there. No caution flag out there as of yet, ladies and gentlemen. So looks like we're at least going to get another lap around. 50 minutes. That timer is now at 51 minutes. Commentator, it's 5 minutes left, not 2. What you talking about, Willis? Time elapsed. 5:51 of a 50-minute feature event. Or, oh, okay, maybe it's 5 because of staging. Is that what's going on there, Zachariah? Maybe we will get another attempt here at virtually NASCAR overtime. I don't normally run into this issue. Normally, crews and admin crews and league owners, man, they put 3-4 hours up there to make sure that they don't run into this problem. So that way they don't have issues like this, and the time frame constraints don't affect the outcome of the racing action. But here tonight, not the case. So it's a little bit of a learning experience here for us. Normally we see a 2-hour race for a feature event, and we still got an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours still available of racing action, but not using it because not a lot of caution flags or not a lot of issues out there on the racetrack, and not hitting that time constraint is always a beautiful, beautiful thing, and just allowing the race to finish, on time or with the green-white checkers, giving them enough time to roll out as well. As we're going to go back to green flag racing, another restart here late in this race. So another restart for drivers to try to work themselves up inside the top 5 and maybe out in front to try to take this payday away from the 39 ride of Daniel Folkingham. Folkingham continues to lead this race as down the front straightaway, more contact. Look out, the 75 ride getting a little bent out of shape here. See if he can try to catch it as Nick Sipple trying to keep that car pointed in the right direction. More contact. Oh no, the 16 ride collected. The 40 goes around. There's the 8 of Noah Miller. The 05 is it's chaos down the back straightaway. The big one here at Daytona as the caution flag will fly here once again. They're still wrecking down the backstretch. The 12 ride getting tied together right there. He's going to go around in. Oh, baby, things going from worse to worse here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, as the caution flag going to come right back out on another restart here as cautions breeding cautions virtually all afternoon, and this is going to be another one to try to break down and look at as everyone knowing that time constraint is coming down to a close. The 75's the first one to kind of get bent out of shape right here, so the 78 unfortunately trying to come up there. Not quite clear of the back bumper. The 75 gets into him there, going down through corner number 1. Gets the 75 right completely bent out of shape. He's just trying to catch this car, keep it pointed in the right direction, trying to keep it out of trouble. Unfortunately, looks like maybe a little netco. Nope, the 8 right pokes his nose, making it 3 wide between the 16, the 40, and himself. And that's going to get that 40 ride turned around. Nowhere to go for Cartledge right there as he's just trying to roll on the bottom of the racetrack. As Cartledge just trying to keep himself out of it, trying to keep that car pointing the right direction. And 8 ride to Noah Miller trying to work his way forward. The 40 ride trying to just kind of keep himself out of the 75. And fortunately, things go astray in a quick hurry here as driver's going to go around. A lot of contact, a lot of damage here. See the 8 ride kind of right in the middle of it. Travis Roberto, he's in there as the 8 washes back up the racetrack. The 40 ride in the 16 ride of Cartledge. They get tied together down low. Roberto gets into him. The 40 goes back up the racetrack. Nowhere to go for that 91 ride again. And just chaos ensuing here. 0538, they get tied together. 8 ride in the 30 ride. They're tied together. The 59 slamming into everybody there. The 42 slams into the back end of the 8 ride. And just chaos here at Daytona. The regular Daytona here as the lights are once again turned back off. The official iRacing pace car. A lot of cats down pit side trying to get their cars repaired. Trying to hopefully jump back out there onto the racetrack. Zachariah Cartledge also collected there in that one as Susan says, man, 16 got sold out. Yeah, the 16 ride definitely got sold out right there. Just trying to keep that car rolling, trying to keep it pinned down on that double yellow line, and unfortunately the contact there to his outside, spinning that 40 ride down and across his nose. Really nowhere for him to go, nothing for him to do except for hang on and enjoy that ride. And unfortunately, now down pit side, trying to get this car repaired, trying to get this thing rocking and rolling here. Unfortunately, down the back straightaway, we're going to see our race leaders getting ready to go back to green flag racing. We'll see if Cartledge jumps back out there and rejoins this race as we'll get ready to go back to green flag racing here, see how many laps we can get in, as said it was a 5-minute buffer there for this race. So really, how are we not getting kicked off here by iRacing already? That says 50 minutes, and we're at 57 now. I don't understand it. Can you, like, top up minutes? Is it like a cell phone plan or something? Is it like a pay-as-you-go? What in the world? I don't know. But nonetheless, we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Daniel Folkingham leads the way as Adam Williams to his outside. They've been working well together here all evening long as the 39 ride, the 69, they're trying to get lined up. Nose to tail. Kenny Reel up into third here. He's been slowly but surely trying to race his way up into that battle back here at the front of the field. And same with Cameron Craighead. We saw Craighead get tied up in quite a few incidences out there on the speedway. Still has some pretty good front end damage, and now Blaine Wilson up and into position number 5 here on the afternoon as Daniel Folkingham leads us down the back straightaway. Folkingham out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one as he's trying to run away with this race, trying to run away with this checkered flag here this afternoon as he's been a man on a mission from the drop of the green flag right from qualifying and down across the line. We will see that checkered flag fly. So the time finally running out, the checkered flag will be displayed, and it's Daniel Folkingham who will pick up the win here in the Mach 10 Motorsports Money Madness Race here this evening from Daytona International Speedway. Daniel Folkingham will get it done and earn the $150 payday here this evening. Adam Williams will come home in second with Kenny Reel rounding out our top 3. Blaine Wilson back in fourth, and Cameron Craighead rounding out our top 5 here this afternoon. The 88 ride of Boris S coming home there in 6th, unfortunately just outside the money here this evening. Nick Sipple, Johnny Evans, Tommy Thompson, Curtis Kelly rounding out our top 10. Unfortunately, only the top 5 drivers will earn some money here this evening, but $150 going to our race winner. The 39 ride came here with a plan, looking to try to take that cash, and he's able to do it here this evening. Mission accomplished here for Daniel Volkingham as he gets to burn down the house here at the World Trade Center of Racing. Daytona International Speedway, give it up for your victor, the 39 of Daniel Volkingham, as he gets it done here in this one. Connor says 16 got sold out, man. 16 definitely got sold out. There's a lot of drivers that probably feel like they got sold out or unfortunately taken out here in this race. But one driver that's pretty happy about the outcome, even happier about seeing this race, and there at that moment in time is that 39 ride. Is Daniel Volkingham able to pick up the dub, able to pull himself up and into victory lane. Now we'll see if these top 3 will jump into a waiting room here. We do see Volkingham in there. Let's see if we can get him up here for his post-race interviews. So let's see if we can get our top 3 up here. Little post-race show here. See if we can get these drivers in for their post-race interviews here this afternoon. We can even turn our old webcam back on there. There we go. How are you? How are you, ladies and gentlemen, as we'll get ready to pull this number 39 ride up and into the broadcast booth for his post-race interview here this afternoon. I can't drag people, so I can't do it yet. I need admin role on Discord to drag people. Hopefully they can get that figured out so we can drag our top 3 up here into the broadcast booth as picking up the dub here. Blaze Rachels, what's good, Blaze? What's good, Mr. Rachels? Coming in, showing the love. How are you, Blaze? How you doing this afternoon, brother? Hopefully you're having yourself a great Friday evening as we'll get ready to hopefully pull our race winner and our second-place driver, Adam Williams, and potentially our third-place driver, Kenny Reel, up here into the broadcast booth for some post-race interviews here. Get their 2 cents in what happened here this afternoon as still don't have admin roles. I'm going to open race chat if they want to pull me in for an interview. I want to pull you in Discord. Damn it, I want to pull you in Discord, brother. Yeah, okay, let's just jump in here with our top 2. We're going to jump in with our top 2. We're just going to try to get these done right now. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for Daniel Volkingham as we'll jump up into the broadcast booth. Daniel, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Daniel, man, a crazy race, a wild race out there in this one, but you were able to play the strategy pretty perfectly there, making sure that you didn't run out of fuel on the racetrack, making that mid-race pit stop, giving up the race lead, but quickly erase your way back up to the front of the field. And now I'm not sure if you and Adam are teammates out there on the racetrack, but man, oh man, oh man, you and that 69 ride were hooked up and working together, especially there on those restarts and late in the race with a lot of restarts coming up. It was able to work out perfectly for the pair of you as you're able to work yourselves up here into the broadcast booth as a 1-2 punch here this evening and able to push you down across the start-finish line, picking up the checkered flag here in this feature event, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you hang out down in the Daytona Speedway victory lane.
Yeah, man, just that race was something else. I wish it could have been a little bit cleaner, but I mean, at the end of the day, we just put ourselves in the right positions when we needed to, and we took advantage of the yellows. But yeah, me and Adam, we just found each other, and yeah, we did started to work together a lot on those restarts to make sure we could keep ourselves out of the chaos too. And we were able to pick up Kenny Reel there at the end as well. So I'm glad we were all able to bring it home in one piece, and we were all just able to finish in the top 5 in those money spots too. So, but I hate the race could have been was not like better. I mean, I'll take it any day of the week to stay out of all the chaos and be up front there when it mattered. But I just hate if we can put on a better show for all you guys. So, But we'll take it when they come, and yeah, very happy.
Absolutely. Definitely happy. Definitely a good night for yourself as you're able to cash in. Obviously, free to enter racing. You're able to pocket yourself $150 cash here this evening with that performance, with that run out there on the racetrack, and seeing all these caution flags throughout this race and seeing that timer kind of getting a little bit lower and lower and lower, knowing that it was only 50 minutes allotted for 50 laps here. You know, what was going through your mind there watching that clock click down, knowing that this race could end at any moment in time that iRacing decides is fitting here late in this one?
Yeah, it was just watching that time get down with all the caution we had at the beginning. I knew we weren't going to finish it out on the green, but then we just kept wrecking and wrecking and wrecking. So we made sure to pit at the appropriate time where we can make sure we can make it all the way to the end on gas without having to run out on like when the time runs out and whatnot. So no, I'm glad we were able to just time it perfectly where we could pit and not have to worry about fuel and go the whole 50 laps and whatnot. So yeah, like I said, it was unfortunate that race turned into a mess like it did, but I mean, with very few laps and with us on a time limit, it's bound to happen when people trying to go from the back to the front. So it's unfortunate, but I mean, you're gonna get that sometimes.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, sometimes just does not work out there, and unfortunately for a lot of these drivers, did not work out for them, but it worked out perfectly here for yourself as Daniel, you're able to park that 39 up and in the Daytona International Speedway victory lane here at the World Trade Center of Racing. Daniel, who would you like to thank for such a great run and great performance out there on the racetrack as you park up in victory lane?
Yeah, I just got to shout out everyone who put this stuff on over here. Thank you for broadcasting. And yeah, shout out to Adam for good teamwork there at the end. I know, like, we pretty much found each other during the race, and we just kind of worked together from there. Shout out to Candy for getting P3 as well. Just, hey, like I said, shout out to everyone who came out in race 2. Hey, it wasn't a good race for all of y'all, but we'll take them any way we can get them. But just, yeah, thank all y'all for putting this on. Thank you, everybody.
Absolutely, brother. Daniel, congratulations on the checkered flag here this afternoon. Hopefully we'll see you back out there for another one of these Mach 10 Motorsports Money races in the future and potentially right back up here and in victory lane.
See, I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you so much.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the number 39. Daniel Folkingham coming home with that checkered flag, able to pick up the win here this evening as we'll get ready to pull in our second place finisher. The number 69 ride, the Trump Machine, coming home in position number 2. It is that 69 ride, which is going to be scored as the 43 of Adam Williams. Williams coming home there in that second spot. Hey, Adam, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Taking a copy?
Yeah, I got you. Had it clear.
Adam, man, what a run, what a race here in this one. Obviously working well together and using that teamwork towards the end of this race, and you're able to bring it home in position number 2 here this afternoon, man. Take us back through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you're able to come across the line in position number 2 with your teammate right there on your front bumper.
Yeah, I got lined up with him on the final lap, and Kenny Rail, he lifted for me to get in, and we're just pushing. We were long gone. I wasn't passing Daniel for nothing. I wanted that P2 finish, let me tell you.
Absolutely, still able to cash in, earn yourself $75 here on the afternoon, and a free-to-enter race. Definitely nothing to hang your head about here this evening, but throughout this race, obviously a lot of caution flags, a lot of chaos unfolding out there on the speedway, where you guys getting a little bit nervous there when you decided to come down, middle through this race to get some fuel, get those tires, and all of a sudden you're kind of a little bit farther back, maybe a little bit more into the danger zone before racing your way back to the front of the field.
No, not at all. I knew we had that thing on lock as soon as we qualified. There's nobody in this race that could beat us, maybe besides Kenny Real. We had that thing gone.
Absolutely. Well, Adam, a very strong run, a great showing here this afternoon as the Trump Machine, the 69 ride, parks it up on the podium in position number 2 here at Daytona International Speedway. Who'd you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance?
I'd like to thank Eternal Racing. It's Kobe Ewell. He was in the race too. He didn't have a good finish, but he's a good fella. I'd like to thank Donald Trump for being a great president, as my paint says. And I'd like to thank Daniel for letting me push him the whole race.
Absolutely. I think he should be thanking you quite a bit after that performance and your work back there behind him, putting him up into victory lane. Adam, congratulations on the second place finish here this afternoon, and hopefully we'll see you in another one of these Mach 10 Motorsports Money races and potentially right back up here into the broadcast booth.
Matt, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
You too.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher, our second place driver here as thank you for getting that kid or whoever that was out of the thing. I know you're here, Kenny. I know you're here, brother. We're going to get ready to pull in our third place finisher here in this one, Kenny Real. But give it up again there for our second place driver, Adam Williams. As Williams coming home there in P2 as we'll get ready to pull in our third place finisher here, Kenny Real. Hey, Kenny, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. They get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Kenny, brother, another solid run, another great performance there out of that 11 ride, but unfortunately here late in the race, just not enough time, not enough laps left there to really try to get a run, to try to find a lane to get around Adam Williams and our race winner, Daniel Folkingham, here this afternoon as you settle in for position number 3, still in the money, but unfortunately not quite the spot you wanted to finish here this evening.
Yeah, we just didn't get enough laps under green to be able to do anything. I was just trying to stay up front and work with Falkenham and Adam and Caden the whole race and just keep track position. And we just got shuffled back because of a caution. Guy in front of me missed the shift and got back up there and just figured out of that last wreck, just let Adam in and just push. As long as we got the tandem up, there wasn't nothing anybody could do.
Absolutely. Well, Kenny, you're able to round out our podium here this afternoon, brother. Who'd you like to thank for another great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack as you're able to round out the podium here this evening?
I just want to give a shout out to my spotter for helping me during the race. Just give a shout out to Falkenham and Adam, Caden for them guys helped me during the race, and give a shout out to the guys that put on the race and you for putting on the broadcast.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Kenny, we hope to see you back out there on the racetrack for the next Mach 10 Motorsports Money Race. Hopefully it turns out a lot better than this one. Hopefully not as much chaos and carnage out there on the racetrack, and hopefully seeing you right back up here in the broadcast booth, maybe a couple spots better and up in victory lane yourself.
Yes, sir.
Beauty, enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
You as well, brother.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our third place finisher, Kenny Real. As Kenny coming home there in position number 3. Now, a wild race, a wild night of racing action. That first heat race went by pretty easily, pretty smooth there. I think we only saw 1, maybe 2 caution flags there in that first heat race. I thought things were going to be great here this afternoon. I thought the racing action was going to be wild and just good, hard racing and a lot of action here throughout the evening. And then heat race number 2, things kind of went off the rails there in that second heat race. Obviously, a abundance of caution flags for a 20-lap run there for that heat race. A lot of carnage, a lot of tore-up cars there in that one. Really kind of just set the tone, I guess, for that feature event as it was more of the same. More caution flags than green flag laps out there on the speedway. A lot of beating and banging. Unfortunately, a lot of drivers and a lot of restarts just going right back under the caution flag as, a couple times we barely made it to the start-finish line. A couple times we barely made it into corner number 1 before the chaos started to unfold again on the racetrack. And unfortunately, with that 50-minute timer, they allowed us to get quite a bit of time in there before they threw that checkered flag finally. So we were able to get a few extra laps in late in this race, but man, it did not finish 50 laps here this afternoon. It ended around lap number 32, lap number 33 out there on the speedway, and it was the perfect timing for Daniel Folkingham as he was able to pick up that checkered flag and pull that 39 ride up and into victory lane here in the Mach 10 Motorsports Money Race. Unfortunately, that will do it for us here this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in and showing the love here through the evening. All the likes, the comments, the shares, everyone coming in, showing the love here this evening. I appreciate each and every single one of you. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, become part of the Peacemaker family today. And if you're interested in joining in on some of the fun, some of the racing action here with the Mach 10 Motorsports group and being able to jump into potentially some of these money races in the future, check the description of the stream. You'll find their Discord in there. Join that Discord. You can find the information and find out some of the info on when we will see these drivers back in action, when we'll see the Mach 10 Motorsports crew come together for another one of these money races and potentially creating some more chaos out there on the racetrack. But ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, and I will see you guys back in here tomorrow night as the Premium Stock Car Racing League will get underway just before 9:30 Eastern Time tomorrow evening. A little bit later of a race, but nonetheless, it's going to be some great racing, a lot of great laps there, and some very talented drivers over there in the Premium Stock Car Racing League. And we're going to see some great action, and hopefully I see everyone right back in here into the broadcast booth. Well, thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out, ladies and gentlemen.
Turbocharged hard, piston pumping like a beast. Black top, jungle feast on chaos, grab the grease. 180 miles of asphalt is forgiven. In this chaos-driven life, only the fearless living. Checkered flag visions, adrenaline addiction. Metal chorus blare, ain't no friction fiction. Drafting on the homies, camaraderie's the trigger. Slides on the track, bombs ready, yeah we bigger. Brother dreams, chasing speed and money. Engines roaring loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, with fire in our veins. Run till we drop, or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul. Cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine. Track burning hot, toasting every line. Can't stop hustle, seconds ticking like grenades. Oil stained glory, history never fades. Helmet and visor, it's a warrior's enchantment. Every turn a gamble, every lap a commitment. Crowds roar, amplifies high-octane behavior. Victory tastes sharp, savoring the flavor. Wind in the helmet, destiny's a blur. Burning rubber dreams, all senses can incur. Burn rubber dreams, chasing speed and might. Engines roar loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins. Run till we drop, or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul. Cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine. Track burning hot, toasting every line. Running up the dreams, chasing speed and light. Engines roaring loud, blazing through the night. Lap after lap, the fire in our veins. Run till we drop, or burst into flames. Fueling up the spirit, nitro in the soul. Cranking up the madness, losing all control. Curves like serpents, straightaways divine. Track burning hot, toasting every line.